Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got World Series game number 5. Dodgers up 3-1. We're here in New York. The Los Angeles Dodgers versus the New York Yankees. First pitch in World Series game number 5 is going to be here in roughly 8 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineup. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, it's a trio of Dodgers: Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. And on the right, a trio of Yankees with Aaron Judge. All rise, Giancarlo Stanton, and Juan Soto. This one is the first thumbnail where we've actually had a 3-on-3, and I think this one turned out pretty damn well. Let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers. Leading off for the Dodgers at DH, Shohei Ohtani. Batting second, playing right field, Mookie Betts. Batting third, playing first base, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Oscar Hernandez. Batting fifth, playing third base, Mad Max Muncy. Batting sixth, playing center field, Kike Hernandez. Batting seventh, playing shortstop for LA, Tommy Edman. Batting eighth, catching tonight for the Dodgers, Will Smith. And batting ninth, playing second base for LA, Gavin Lux. And on the mound for the Dodgers, Jack Flaherty. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home New York Yankees. Leading off for the Yankees at second base, Gleyber Torres. Batting second, playing right field, Juan Soto. Batting third, playing center field, Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Batting fifth, DHing for New York, Giancarlo Stanton. Batting sixth, playing first base, Anthony Rizzo. Batting seventh, the hero from last night, shortstop Anthony Volpe. Batting eighth, catching tonight for New York, Austin Wells. And batting ninth, the former Red Sox left fielder, Alex Verdugo. And on the mound for the Yankees, their ace, Garrett Cole. Let's go, baby. We're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. And again, trying to experiment. Usually I just do one image and one image. And then yesterday I did Shohei and Mookie, Aaron Judge and Giancarlo. But now adding Juan Soto and Freddie Freeman and making this a brand new thumb with 3-on-3. This might be a trend, and this might be something that I do in the future. I really like the way that this one turned out, and I hope this game ends up being as good as this thumb. Let's get it, baby. Daniel in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, what's good? First pitch is going to be here in roughly 2 to 3 minutes. And we'll see if we end up getting a Yankee win here tonight at home. I think there's a very high probability of that happening. Obviously, we know the Dodgers only need one win, and they can get it done here tonight. But obviously, Yankee fans are a little bit thirsty, wanting a little bit more. And if they can get 2 wins, it's much better than just getting one. And I don't think anyone really believes the Yankees are going to come back from 3-0. Teams don't do that typically. But again, if you can win 2 games, it's a lot better than getting swept or getting beat in 5. But again, you're going to have to try to get it done here tonight, so that way we can go back to LA, I believe, on Friday. And then we'll end up having Game 6 in LA. And at that point, I would assume if the Yankees win tonight, then the Dodgers will end up winning at home in Game 6 in front of their home fans, unless they end up winning the championship and the pennant tonight here on the road in a hostile environment in New York. Oh, good. I'm glad that your surgery was successful with that. Good to hear. Let me get all situated here. Been kind of a gloomy, rainy day here in the Pacific Northwest. Me and Paisley got rained on a little bit early this morning, and then a little light sprinkle for our afternoon walk. But it was nice to get out and get into nature. And again, we weren't able to go as long as we normally do. Just don't want her to get too wet. I'm going to have to get her a new raincoat at some point here, living in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon. But definitely looking forward to a late night walk later tonight. But I'm really excited about this matchup here with the Dodgers and Yankees, World Series 2024, game number 5. And we'll start it here in just about a minute or so. So we've been gaining some good subs, from the beginning of yesterday's stream until today. We've already gained like 13. So I don't know if we're going to end up gaining 9 or 10 subs like we did last night. But if we do, that would be fantastic. And we're definitely going in the right direction. Ended up hitting over 1,100 people in the stream yesterday, which was nice for the show. And hopefully we'll be around that number here tonight, or pretty close to that number, if not higher. Especially when the Yankees are trying to push this series to Game 6 back in LA, as well as obviously Game 7 would be there as well. But again, hanging on by a thread. But if they can get some good production at the bottom end of the lineup, anything is possible. Leading off for the Dodgers at DH, Shohei Ohtani. And Ohtani and Aaron Judge have not been very good in the World Series. They both only have a couple hits out of like 15 appearances. I think they both have like 2. So we haven't really got a chance to see these guys homer or do what they normally do. Maybe today is the night where we get a Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge homer. That would be fantastic. Batting second, right fielder Mookie Betts. And hopefully we don't have any fans trying to get a ball out of his mitt or grab him as he's trying to get a foul ball. And batting third, Mr. October, not Reggie Jackson or Corey Seager. It is Freddie Freeman. Let's go. And on the mound for their Yankees, their ace, Garrett Cole. 2.91 ERA and 21 career postseason starts, allowed 2 runs or less in 15 of 21 starts this season. He is the man. So we're going to have to see if the Dodgers are going to be able to get hits on him early and often. And this is the same matchup that we ended up having in Game 1. And ended up leading to the, walk-off grand salami by Freddie Freeman in the 10th. All right, baby, here we go. In the box, Shohei Ohtani. Brett in the building. How are you? Shohei, first pitch. Popped up. Aaron Judge is there. One away. Are you getting Colton's costume ready for his main character in his book for school? And I tried to give you a couple ideas there on Facebook on what to do, and then your other friend had a good one too. A little bit of maybe facial hair, drawn in, or with some type of costume and whatnot to make him look a little bit older as a high school player. Hopefully, you'll be able to figure that out. Next up is Mookie Betts. Takes a strike, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Cole to Betts. Four-seam fastball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Oh, your boy out. Oh, they changed it all to pajama day. Well, good thing you didn't get crazy and start, spending money on little props and things, little facial hair, or, obviously if you're using like marker or, sunglasses or puka shell necklace or something like that. They said, well, we just forgot about that. We're just going to do pajama day. Little dribbler to first. Well, that's less work for you and easier, obviously, for you and probably for him in the morning. Next up, Mr. October, first baseman, Freddie Freeman. The kids that don't celebrate aren't left out. Yeah. Well, Halloween is a little bit different compared to like Christmas. Obviously there's going to be different types of holidays like Kwanzaa and other things that people celebrate. And some people, if you have like Jehovah's Witnesses, I had a Jehovah's Witness friend, Jared, down the road, and you can't make everyone happy since there's going to be people of different ages and different races and different religions and different practices and whatnot. But I guess if, some families maybe don't have the need or the money, at the time to be able to go out of their way to do like a last minute costume like that, then maybe this will just be the easier answer where you just dress up. And then if you want to wear pajamas, you wear pajamas. I imagine there'll probably be some people at the school dress up. Halloween definitely is for the kids and for the adults. And it's kind of hard not to dress up somewhat. I mean, if you got the extra finances to do so. Popped up into left field to Verdugo, and that was a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Cole. They can't put up Christmas decorations? Oh, wow, okay. Multicultural, like we have it here on the West Coast as well. And again, you have to try to be, as sensitive as possible to everyone. Again, it's kind of hard to be able to cater to everyone, so hopefully that'll be an easier day for you, obviously going through. And then are you doing like a trick-or-treating thing for him tomorrow night? Has he outgrown trick-or-treating yet? Or is that something that he still is like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I love candy. I'm going to go. I mean, I know a lot of people, at least here on the West Coast, I think, a lot of people, the cutoff point maybe is around 12 or 13. And then there's going to be people that still end up doing it after that. But I would say probably 12, 13, 14, once you end up getting into like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And then before you get into high school, that might be like the last time where, you might end up, deciding that you don't want to do that anymore. But hey, free candy is free candy, right? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Besides the things that you end up trying to teach him, about everyday life. And then, if you end up having a school that will try to be able to shape him in the right way, that's good to hear. friends from his school tomorrow. Nice. And we'll be live tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Jets and the Texans for Thursday Night Football on Halloween. Hope you have a great time with Colton there as well. And let's see who's up here next for the Yankees. Leading off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the first, second baseman Gleyber Torres. Batting second, right fielder Juan Soto. And batting third, center fielder Aaron Judge. And on the mound for the Dodgers, game one starter, Jack Flaherty. Not as good as a Garrett Cole, but we'll see what he ends up bringing tonight. And they may have him only pitch a couple innings. The bullpen is ready. So, again, they can end up having, 5-6 pitchers and have a combo route to try to end up winning this game instead of trying to rely on Flaherty to go sick and then going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th with additional pitchers. So we'll see how that, strategy goes. But I would assume New York gained a little bit of momentum from yesterday, and I do think the Dodgers would rather win in front of their home fans. But again, if you have an opportunity to win, you don't want to, just kind of play it easy because you just never know what could happen in sports. But we might end up getting the Dodgers celebrating the World Series championship tonight. Very, very possible. But in my mind, I kind of see this game going to the Yankees today. And then we end up going back to LA on Friday, and then they win the championship there in front of family and friends on the West Coast. Pitch in there for a strike behind in the count for Gleyber Torres, 0-2 count. I got you. I got you. And you'll be getting another Chase Elliott shirt in the mail in a couple weeks. We only got 2 NASCAR Cup Series races left, and we want to definitely make sure that we can soak them up as much as we can. I know you've been busy with birthday parties and whatnot. Throw to first. Gleyber Torres, 1 away. Next up for the Yankees, right fielder Juan Soto. Will he be a Yankee next year? Will he be a Dodger next year? Nobody knows. But he is one of the top 10 players in baseball, whether you love him or you hate him. Again, his defense could be better, but as far as hitting is concerned, he is one of the best pure hitters in baseball today. Facts. He's already won a championship with the Nats after they let go of Bryce Harper. So he already knows what it's like to be a champion, and now he's just pretty much renting out his services until he ends up getting that big 10-year, $500 million deal. And only a couple teams can afford that, and you're looking at 2 of them on the screen right now, the Yankees and the Dodgers. Takes a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitches outside, 3 balls and no strikes from Flaherty to Soto. Yeah, but again, it's not like you're skipping them on purpose. Like you're busy trying to take care of your son and, different activities with birthday parties. So, you get a free pass with your NASCAR Cup Series. Obviously, dedication and love. You got other things that are more important for that particular day. But last 2 races, got to lock in if you have a chance, as long as there's nothing big that's on the table that needs to get done. 3-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And that is a walk to Juan Soto. All rise. Court is in session. Next up, Aaron Judge. He's kind of good. Oh, back. I called it, baby. Gone. Aaron Judge with his Aaron Judge moment. There it is. Back. See ya. And I had a feeling that we would get that Aaron Judge. Maybe we'll get the Shohei Ohtani again tonight, but it kind of felt like that momentum that they had from yesterday. The Dodgers want to win in LA. Give the Yankees fans something to talk about. There we go. Aaron Judge with the 2-run blast. First pitch strike. That's what happens when you have you got your own little logo in the corner, baby. Finally, Aaron Judge has arrived. Hell yeah. There we go. There we go. I mean, for both guys, Ohtani and Judge, to be, let's be honest, they've been bad in the World Series. They both, up to this point, were only like 2 for 15 and no home runs. But Aaron Judge said, you know what, how many games do I got to go before I actually take advantage of someone? And that's his first home run in 25 at-bats. I might not be a Yankee fan per se, but I do love greatness. Nice job, Aaron Judge. 2-0 Yankees. Next up is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Not surprised one bit, and hopefully we get an Ohtani homer tonight as well. I mean, we just want to be able to see the best players do the best things that they can on a daily basis. Pitches at the knees and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And just like we said yesterday in the prediction that we thought that, you know, guys in the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hole in the bottom of the order would be the guys that end up making the difference and winning the game, and that's exactly what we ended up getting yesterday with Anthony Volpe. Jazz Chisholm, back, gone. Wow, 3-0 Yankees, and Flaherty. Again, you know, they just wanted him to pitch about 2 or 3 innings. He might not even make it out of the first inning. Back. See ya! 3-0 Yankees. This one is going back to LA unless we have a miracle. Oh my. Kind of always felt that it was going to be Dodgers in 6 anyways. Yeah, well, being a Red Sox fan, I understand. Nice job, Jazz. You know, an immature player that was a little selfish, you know, in Miami, ended up getting traded to the Yankees, where you can't really be that type of guy. You know, you have to mature, you have to show respect, you know, and see what they will allow you to get away with, you know, based off, you know, just your personality and whatnot. And if they let you be you, he's been pressing in the playoffs, and he hasn't really been that great. But he's starting to get a little bit hotter within the last few games, and that is a monster solo dinger for a guy that normally doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs. Nice job by Judge. Nice job by Jazz. 3-0 Yankees. Way to bring the excitement right out of the gates. And I know Dodger fans might be a little sad or upset, but this was kind of what, maybe the sports gods wanted all along. You know, again, we always kind of thought going in that it was going to be Dodgers in 6. They ended up going up 3-0. I don't think anyone predicted that. They thought the Yankees would win at least one game within the first 3. But if they can end up winning back-to-back, the only problem is if they end up winning this game and they're down 3-2, the last 2 games are in L.A. And I'm not sure if the Yankees are built to be able to, to win in L.A. At that type of scenario. Considering, no teams come back when they're down 3-0. It's just, it's never happened. So, I mean, besides the Red Sox and the Yankees in the ALCS, when the Yankees were up 3-0, and then the Red Sox ended up winning 4 straight, then went to the World Series and won it all. So, Dixon way with a raid. Appreciate that. 3-0 New York. Appreciate you. Next up for the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton. Slide out to center, 2 away. Next up, first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Yeah. Which one is that? Is that the one that you have on the Instagram? The brunette? The one that you would go to parties with and whatnot? The one you've been friends with for a long, long time, 10 plus years? Is that the one? 3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the first with 2 outs. Pitch to Rizzo down at his knees. 1-0 count. In the postseason, batting .308 for Rizzo. 1-0 pitch, pitches outside. 2-0 count. Well, obviously Flaherty is, kind of up to his team routine, not being a very good pitcher like he was in, game 1. You obviously knew that Flaherty and Cole, obviously is the better pitcher. but I'm not sure if anyone anticipated Flaherty to get rocked like this. You kind of assumed with who they had pitching yesterday and the strategy that they had, they were giving the Yankees a chance, with their worst pitcher, giving the other guys rest, and then, trying to be able to, see what they could do here in this Flaherty start. But, I mean, it definitely ends up going to be like a Yoshinobu, in the last start, and then obviously Walker Buehler. You can go with either one. Obviously, Yoshinobu would be the one scheduled to start, I believe, on Friday once this goes to Game 6, if that's what happens, if we don't get a miraculous comeback from LA. Good old Katie. Katie wanted to hang out. You're like, I gotta watch this NASCAR Cup race with O Doggy Dog. It's always good to be able to have a couple people in the circle. Even though as you get older, the circle gets a little smaller. 3-2 pitch. Got him. Flaherty with a punch out, but the damage is done. 2-run blast by Aaron Judge. Solo blast by Jazz Chisholm, and we got a 3-0 lead with the Yankees. And my first attempt, at 3-on-3 in the thumbnail, I think turned out pretty fucking well. Considering that we did the initial, obviously, 2-on-2 yesterday, right, with Game 4. And then I was like, man, I got to add Soto. I got to be able to add Freddie. And this one turned out very, very well. And if I have enough time and effort to be able to put together things like this for baseball or football or for hockey or basketball streams in the future, it takes a lot longer, especially when you're doing 3 images and 3 images and putting it together. But I can honestly say this is one of the better thumbnails that I've created in a little while. I really like it. All right, let's go to the top of the second. 3-0 Yankees. Let's see who's up next for the Dodgers. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Next up, left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez, the former Blue Jay and Mariner. Home run derby winner this year. Next up, third baseman, Mad Max Muncy. It's either a strikeout or a home run. We'll see what happens here at this at-bat. And batting third, center fielder in the 6-hole, Kike Hernandez. It's funny that you bring that up. I was just thinking, what is something that I could do? But I mean, I don't really have anything, and I don't really have a whole lot of extra, funds. Like if I, was going to end up spending money, I would rather, get you like a Chase shirt, rather than, spending 30, 40, 50 bucks on like a wig, I can always rock the long hair wigs, with like the 80s, 90s rockers or just the long hair and whatnot. But, I don't have anything, per se here. So unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, more than likely there probably won't be a costume, just because, I don't really have the extra funds for it. Now, am I someone that is willing to dress up? Would I be a good sport about it? Of course. If I had extra money, I wouldn't mind dropping like 50 to 100 bucks for like a pretty cool costume for the stream tomorrow for Halloween. But unfortunately, with bills and everything else and my other priorities, probably just gonna, rock the normal football gear. But if I had extra, I definitely would. Now, what would I dress up? I don't really know. That is a good question. Next up is Teoscar Hernandez. Takes a strike, 0-1 count. We're in the top of the second, 3-0 Yankees. 2-run blast by Aaron Judge for his first home run in the World Series. Jazz Chisholm with a solo blast right after him as well. You might be a little bit more creative with ideas than what I would be able to do. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Garrett Cole to Teoscar Hernandez. One-two pitch from Cole to Teoscar. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Teo. 1 away. Next up for the Dodgers, third baseman Max Muncy. Nice job by Garrett Cole. Wheeling and dealing. Definitely the stronger pitcher. Pitching and defense is what's going to win the World Series. And the Dodgers were very dominant at that in the first 3 games, but it looks like the Yankees are going to be the ones that are going to be dominant not only in Game 4, which they won yesterday, but it looks like they're on pace for Game 5 to win as well. Pitches inside to Muncy, behind in the count 0-2. She's like, I got all the ideas for you. So I put the little black lines on. I don't really have anything to do that with, though, as far as like the eye guards and whatnot. She said, look dirty. Let's go roll around in the backyard in the dirt. Roll around with Paisley in the backyard. And bam, you're a zombie football player. You're hilarious. Yeah. 1-2. Pitch in there for strike 3. Garrett Cole wheeling and dealing early and often. 2 away by Garrett Cole. Next up for the Dodgers, center fielder Kike Hernandez. Top of the second, 3-0 New York. Britt, you got a prediction on a winner for this weekend's race? I mean, besides the obvious that we want. I just can't believe that the season is almost over. Like, I know it goes for many, many months, but it just never long enough for me. Like, we're going to have baseball and NASCAR done here within a couple days. Kike popped up. Soto's there in right field. 6 up and 6 down for Garrett Cole. 3-0 New York. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Next up for the Yankees, the hero in Game 4, shortstop Anthony Volpe. Had a grand salami at a short, small frame like a Jeter, right? So it shows you, even guys that are in the 6, 7, 8, 9 hole can make big plays. Let's see what Volpe's got in his bag today. Batting second, catcher, stash from the past. He had a home run yesterday and was involved also. Austin Wells, the guy least likely to do damage in the lineup, but sometimes that's what happens. You get guys in the bottom of the lineup like Volpe and Wells producing, that typically will lead to win. And batting third, the former Red Sox left fielder, Alex Verdugo. You think Hamlin? And then who do you think that are going to be the 4 for the last race there in Phoenix? Like, who are the 4? Obviously, we already have 2 individuals that have punched their ticket already. But what about, like, what do you think the 4 are going to be? Obviously, if we had our choice of who we want as 4, I kind of have an idea, who we would probably want. But thank you, Captain. Figured I tried to upgrade it. I've never done 3-on-3. It's normally just one-on-one. You know, I do a big logo, you know, and I try to always upgrade the channel and the thumbs every year. But I decided to go with the big team logo and then have the players, you know, obviously in front of it, since no one else really has that type of creativity. I try to be a little bit different, not be like everybody else. And then to be able to sprinkle in Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie. I didn't have the Freddie or the Soto image until this morning or, you know, a couple hours ago. I had to, you know, go through quite a few. And then you got nice Judge, Giancarlo, and Soto. It definitely looks better, you know, with the 3-on-3. And again, it takes a hell of a lot longer. You know, normally a thumbnail takes, you know, if you're, you know, a perfectionist, which I typically try to be, it usually takes about 30 minutes to an hour if the program that you're using, like a Photoshop, which I don't use Photoshop, I use something called Super Photo Cut. And sometimes, you know, like a Photoshop, the program works normal. Sometimes you have to like restart your computer because sometimes the images end up being behind another image instead of in front. And then you got to, you know, kind of reboot it and whatnot. But you know, I really like the way that turned out. And again, you know, doing 3-on-3, that usually is going to be more than 1 hour. So it takes a lot of time and effort and energy, but I really am happy to be able to show off my creativity to you guys and the evolution of this channel. If you go back to see what the channel looked like when I first started, you know, in 2017 to see where we're at now, it's a pretty amazing glow up that we've had here. So bottom of the second, 3-0 Yankees. Volpe, there we go, staying hot. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Anthony going for 2. And a stand-up double for Anthony Volpe. There you go. Had that grand salami last night, and he's still staying hot. Nice job. Next up, stash from the past, catcher Austin Wells, who homered yesterday as well. Megan in the building. Cool Kid in the building. Captain Oreo in the building. Anson's character. Nice. Yeah, you already got most of the outfit there, so that's going to be better off than, you know, most people that attempt that. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $10 holla. 90 to go. I appreciate you. Oh, Texans, you would feel should, right? But again, no Diggs and no Nico Collins, so that's going to be Tank Dell, Joe Mixon, and Stroud. And, you know, not having Nico or Stephon Diggs is definitely going to be a factor, you know, and the Jets have their kind of backs against the wall. So it's kind of a trap game for Houston. So I think that, you know, if you didn't have the injuries to Nico Collins and if Diggs wasn't out for the year with the ACL, I think you could comfortably say Texans. But since, you know, the Texans have those injuries to their 2 top wide receivers, you know, it feels like a trap game for the Texans where they should still be able to win with their roster. But the Jets definitely could win, you know, even though they haven't played good football and they're not very good this year. You know, Devontae Adams hasn't really gained that rapport, you know, and there's only one football for Aaron and Brees and Garrett Wilson and, you know, Lazard, as well as now Devontae Adams. And so, you know, again, it definitely feels like a trap game for the Texans. So Texans should. But hey, if the Jets end up keeping it closer and winning, would not be shocked. And that might be something that people say tomorrow, that they are going to be taking the underdog, the Jets, just because of the injury to Stephon Diggs, which kind of makes sense. But who knows? Hopefully it ends up just being a good quality Halloween Thursday night game. So. Yeah, I mean, the channel's come a long way. I mean, not knowing how to use the green screen and, you know, me pretty much having to, you know, just do like YouTube tutorials and figuring out, you know, by trial and error myself with programs and not know how to make a thumbnail or not really know how to do anything. And then to get to, you know, this point, it feels good. And again, I, you know, put everything I have into this channel. You know, I'm super passionate about, you know, the people that I care about and the things that I love, like Paisley and this channel and you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy all the hard work that I put in on every single screen. Pitch there on the corner for a strike from Flaherty to Verdugo. 3 balls and 1 strike. I always like this camera angle with the catcher or the ump. It's very, especially when you get the batter to hit a home run. Volpe, Verdugo. Oh my. RBI single, 4-0 Yankees. Yeah, well, of course, because you got all the fantasy players there. So, of course, you want them to, play well. And that's the thing, like in fantasy, that you'll learn in the future. And, you probably couldn't have predicted it, going into the year. There was a lot of anticipation that Rodgers was going to lead them to being a good team that could maybe win 10, 11, 12 games. But it just hasn't been the case. But again, when you end up having star players, but they're on a bad team, they're for that particular year, then the value goes down compared to obviously if the Jets were first place in their division or second, and if they, ended up having everyone rolling, then that means that you're getting more points out of Brees and out of Garrett Wilson. And so just kind of unfortunate, for you in that situation, but you're still in position, to be able to try to, gain a couple wins, and you might be able to catch up to get that last spot, because there'll be about 3 teams battling for that last 4th place spot. It's going to be Elliott, it's going to be Matt, and then maybe yourself, and then for some of us, we're just too far deep in the hole with like me, Megan, and Sarah. It just, sometimes, if you draft not the best, or you have injuries, or if the players just, shit the bed and they just underperform, because I feel like Megan's roster is better than me and Sarah's as far as like superstar players. But again, you have to have a really good lineup 1 through 9. So it's like if you got 5 pieces that are really, really good, like Josh Allen and Derrick Henry and Neighbors and Amon-Ra, you would think, shit, those 4 players should be able to win me, just by those guys alone. But unfortunately, if you don't have a good defense week in and week out, or kicker, or tight end production, or those other spots, sometimes a monster lineup like that will hit, and then sometimes it'll underwhelm. And then if the other positions are already kind of underwhelming from time to time, then you end up with a kind of a shit week where you end up getting like 60 to 90 points. And I know me, Megan, and Sarah have had a couple of those, and those are not fun. And I know Britt probably has had some of those too, when you get under 100. And anyone that plays fantasy football that enjoys getting under 100 is lying. You want to be able to get 130 to 200, and you feel like you really accomplished something. Or you get over 100 and you fucking win, and instead of losing. But fantasy has been definitely a weird year with a lot of guys getting injured, a lot of guys underperforming. And a little bit of luck of the draw, but I don't think I've seen so many superstar players out within the first, 6, 7, 8 weeks or so. But that's life, and that's how it goes. And like for me, I haven't given up. I might end up being in last place when it's all said and done, but it's not going to be due to not trying. I can only do the best that I can with the pieces that I have on my roster, and then what's on the wire. And, sometimes those guys on the wire will hit for a couple weeks. You pick them up, and then they don't do anything, or they get hurt, or they put up a 1 or a 0. So it's kind of like hit or miss. And sometimes it ends up being a guy that, you can have for the rest of the season or start. But I do like blowing up my team every week. I'm going to make 200 moves before the season ends. And if I have to change 4 or 5 spots every week and do something dramatic just to try to find the right combination of guys that might be able to get me a win for that week, or, just to, try to at least be positive about it, that's all I can do. So we got Banda in now, but it's already too late, where he gave up 4 runs in the first. Reflect with a tenor, but I already kind of had a feeling that this was going to be going into 6. LA wants to win in front of their own fans anyway, so it's kind of like they're presenting these pitching matchups and scenarios where it's like they kind of gave the Yankees the silver platter. All they had to do was just finally win against shitty pitching. They did, carried that momentum into this game. They're going to win this game, and then it'll go back to LA, and more than likely that's where you're going to get the Dodgers being champs in Game 6 on Friday. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. A tenor from Megan, tenor from Reflect. Appreciate you two Hawk fans. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Soto, big swing and a miss, finding the count. 0-1. But this thumbnail, I'm definitely vibing with this. I don't know how often I'm going to have time to be able to do 3 and 3. But I feel for the very first time, this ended up being pretty successful. I think I have a pretty good eye of, what looks good and what doesn't. And again, not every person is going to, vibe with the thumbnails and whatnot, but I always try to kind of change it up, with bigger players, smaller players, full body, upper body, action poses. I'm always trying to keep it fresh and keep it new. And sometimes it just depends on the image I get, so if I end up getting one image where it's kind of a big football helmet and upper body, then I got to mirror it. So you just can't do like two random action poses where it looks a little off. Sometimes you got to kind of mirror and have that symmetry. So sometimes if you wonder why, I end up doing thumbs the way that I do, I usually am trying to do the symmetry to make it, nice to the eyes, a little bit different. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Yankees, 2 outs, 2-1 count from Banda to Soto. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon when you get back. He said the champ is exiting. And it's going to be really difficult for, the teams to match up, But I'm very excited to see how it all plays out. I mean, anyone could end up winning it. Zini, Shep, or any of the teams that get the last spot, whether it's Elliott, Matt, Captain Oreo, or someone else, But if there's not any serious injuries, again, it's not just luck. You have to be smart and intelligent, and then you have to have a little bit of luck on your side. But again, it is a skill set, to do what he's doing this year and what he did last year. And again, normally in a position where I'm typically at in the top 3, not this year, but at least you're getting to see the same type of example of what it is to, dominate in that world. And again, sometimes you get a little lucky with the injuries where they end up being only for a week or two, not season ending. But he also had Rashee Rice out for the year, so you can't act like, he's not, been making moves, even though he's got injuries with Nico Collins as well. Hell, he had 3 of the top 5 wide receivers. But again, the bench and the drafting was done so well that he hasn't been hurt like a lot of us would have been if we had those same type of rosters, because we just wouldn't have maybe had that same kind of depth on the bench to come in. So, I mean, not very many teams are going to have guys that can put up 20 or 30 points a week on the bench. And if you do, shows, how smart you were in drafting and picking up guys on the wire that you knew that would, be a good fit on the team. Bottom of the second, 4-0 Yankees. Next up, all rise. It is Aaron Judge. And I did predict that, he was going to homer today. He did. We'll see if we get the Shohei Ohtani homer as well, or if we're going to have to wait till game 6 to get that one. But, you knew it was a matter of time where both guys, and Aaron Judge as well as Shohei Ohtani, they were both like 2 for 15. No home runs in the World Series. And I think some people were expecting them to hit a home run like every game. And sometimes, when pitching rules, that's not going to be the case. But I'm really happy that Judge finally homered. Regardless, I'm not a Yankee fan, but I do appreciate greatness. And it's always a cool sight to see when you see Judge homer, as long as it's not against your team. Judge homering, Ohtani homering, pretty sweet. Bucks, Rays, Bolts in the building. What's good? Yeah, Ohtani's 100% for the time being. He's a tough guy. Now, nobody was surprised that the Yankees won yesterday. If you know baseball and you see the pitching matchup and you have some random jobber in there pitching, right, then, of course, they gave him a chance to win, Like right now, if you're looking at the pitching, like, even with what you saw, here right out of the gates with the Dodgers, Flaherty's not really that good, just like the pitcher yesterday. Really, the two guys that they count on. They can't, count on a guy like a Clayton Kershaw anymore, and Dustin May, obviously, and Gratterall and some of the other guys that they could have used have been injured. So really, it's like Yoshinobu is their 1, right? And Walker Buehler is the 2. And, there was times in the regular season where Yoshinobu and Walker Buehler didn't really look very good, but they got hot at the right time. So those are the aces. So, it's like if you ended up really wanting to try to win, you got to be able to have your best guys. And again, it was just a matter of time for the Yankees to not get swept and get embarrassed. But I will say this, if Walker Buehler or Yoshinobu were able to pitch based off the days off, they might have been able to sweep yesterday or win this particular game. But, it's all about pitching and defense. So And I'm not saying that the Yankees can't hit Yoshinobu or Walker Buehler. They can, but no team has come back from 3-0, and it just doesn't really feel like this particular Yankee team will do that. I could definitely see the game winning here, and then LA winning next game, winning in 6, 4-2. And even if the Yankees get momentum, hell, they could end up winning that first game in LA, and we could go to 7. I mean, that's what the fans want. But I just don't know, if the Yankee bats would be able to do it in LA. But again, if they can ride a 2-game, momentum with Uncle Mo here in New York, you might be able to steal that game in Game 6. But it really depends on who's pitching, and if you rough up, I would assume Yoshinobu will be on Friday. Diving to first, and that is the end of the second inning. Yeah, but the thing is the Dodgers, it's not a video game, bro. Again, when you got pitchers, like Yoshinobu and Walker Buehler, if they pitched, early on in like games 2 and 3, they can't pitch back to back. Usually these guys pitch and they have like a week off because you don't want their arm to fucking fall off, or get Tommy John. So again, obviously, if they had like May or Clayton Kershaw or Gratterall or any of these other guys that were healthy, yeah, then maybe you go for the jugular and you try to get it done. But again, not every pitching staff is going to be healthy, especially into a 162 game regular season and then many games in the playoffs where you're almost playing like 200. So we'll see what happens. You would assume that Yoshinobu or Walker Buehler will be rested, not to the full extent, but enough to be able to give it all they got. And then if the Yankees end up still getting the momentum and winning, I still think the Dodgers will win in 6. But, if it does go 7, I still have Dodgers in 7 at home. We just haven't seen a team, be able to get back from 3-0 besides the Red Sox, with the Yankees. Yankees going up 3-0, with Ortiz and Manny Ramirez, and they ended up going 4 straight and then going to the World Series and winning. But that's a little bit different of a scenario. So, Sarah in the building, what's good? Let me know what you want to do for photos once Reflect gets back. And then, Megan, if there's anything you want to be able to see Kraken-wise, or just your regular stuff, you let me know. I got you. I am kind of intrigued, though, with this new format with the 2 and 2 or 3 images and 3 images. It takes a hell of a lot longer. But if I have the right images and I can do it in an appropriate amount of time, like football, ones would be interesting. College, NFL, hockey. But again, it's a little bit easier said than done. Sometimes it takes time. And you got to make sure you put it in the right spot. Everything has to line up. Symmetry. But for my first attempt of a 3-on-3, I would say this came out pretty fucking good. Joe Dirt approved. End of the second inning, 4-0 Yankees. Yeah, I got you. Edman. Foul. And of course, that fan that ended up trying to open up Mookie Betts' mitt, and then the guy that tried to grab his hand, Gronk knows him. But he went to college with him at Arizona. He said he's a fucking goon. So, when you get a guy that's like that, then obviously, those are the wrong type of friends to be able to have, because you never know what they're going to fucking do. And if they end up doing something illegal or getting themselves in a position to get arrested, sounds like that was kind of a common theme. But saw an interview this morning, and at first I thought he was kidding, but it's like legit. He actually was on like the hockey team or whatever, and and he was friends with them. I mean, obviously not like good friends probably now, but they knew of each other, back in his college days at Arizona for the Wildcats. And then they were about to say that they were going to let those guys come back. Then they decided to donate the tickets to someone at like a hospital or like a Dornbecker's or something, where you can actually get people that maybe appreciate it a little bit more, instead of rich stooges, just thinking that they can do whatever the hell that they want. Yeah, I did see the photo of Josh Allen there. Got you. Top of the third, 4-0 Yankees. And we'll see if the Dodgers can end up responding. And I assume the Dodgers will still get 2 to 4 runs before the game ends. We'll just see, if they have to wait till Garrett Cole goes out or not. And that might determine if they get to 4 or if they only get to like 2. But it doesn't feel like the Yankees are done yet. Like this could get pretty explosive, it feels. Like it feels like it could easily have them get to 8 to 10 runs. Like it might be only halfway done, but we'll see if the pitching gets any better or worse for the Dodgers. But if it's kind of like what we've seen, this could be like yesterday's score. Yeah, I saw him on the pregame show. Very cool to see Torrey there. I mean, regardless if you love these teams or hate these teams have the deepest history. East Coast, West Coast, Dodgers, Yankees. And it means more than just a baseball team. You're representing like an area. It's bigger than just a team. It's like, that type of lifestyle, and it's gotten into pop culture, and a lot of bandwagon fans, a lot of hardcore fans, and some dumb fans for both. Those two guys should be not only arrested, but of course you're going to get some of these people that interview them, and they're trying to get their 5 seconds of fame, and people like actually thinking what they did was cool because they're New York fans and they're crazy, right? But nothing cool about that, especially if Mookie would have gotten his wrist broken or twisted up, there has to be some kind of standard set that type of behavior is, drunk or not, or under the influence or sober. Like there's no scenario on planet fucking Earth that should be tolerated. Like, not only should you be ejected, go to jail, but banned not only from Yankee Stadium, every stadium. Like that was like crazy, but I know Gronk is a crazy partier. I can only imagine what that guy and his friend, what those guys would used to do in Arizona and their little frat parties and whatnot. I can only imagine. 3-1 pitch. Check swing. Takes a strike. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Like, fuck, man. Mookie should press charges. Especially with the guy that grabbed his arm. Like, you got to be dumb motherfuckers to do some shit like that, But I guess if you're that rich and that, just dumb, you don't even care. Like, you'll rather take the 5 seconds of fame, even if you get in trouble a little bit, Next up, Shohei Ohtani. See if he'll bring the electricity. We already got the Aaron Judge home run. Are we going to get the Shohei home run? This would be a good time for it to happen, to make it 4-2. And if not right here, sometime in this game, unless we have to wait till Friday, and game 6, he'll homer then. It's like, these guys are going to come up in the big moments. So if you don't get a Shohei homer here, you're probably going to end up getting one in game 6. He hasn't homered all World Series, and what a better way to end up winning the World Series with the Shohei Ohtani homer in LA. Kind of feels like that's destiny. But can he get one here to give him the Uncle Mo to do that in game 6? Shohei is good enough to hit home runs in back-to-back games, just like Aaron Judge. And hell, both of these guys are good enough to hit not only in back-to-back games, but they can get actually more than one home run in a game. I mean, these guys can hit 2 or 3 in a game by themselves, even though they haven't been very good in the World Series so far. O2. Ohtani reaches. You reach. I reach. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 9 up, 9 down. Yankees up 4-0. Next up for the Yankees, 0 for 1, DHing Giancarlo Stanton. He's due for a home run, too. Next up, first baseman after that, Anthony Rizzo. And the Game 4 hero, shortstop, small like Jeter, but packs a big heart, Anthony Volpe. Let's get some photos up here for Megan, and we'll get some for Reflect once he gets back. Or we'll wait till the end. We're at 20:80 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. So Halloween costume is going to look like that. Got the lapel, the little pin. I mean, I wish I had extra money, to spend on like $50 to $100 costume. I'm always up to, dress up on a party or on a Halloween type thing, but just not really in the budget. But we'll see what I come up with. I don't know. I got to take care of Paisley. Paisley is, first priority. So. I've never dressed up as a Star Wars character. That would be obviously like dressing up full like Darth Maul. That would be something that like I would do. I did Simpsons back at school, back at the very, very early stages of when the show came out, and I'm actually looking at it. I actually still have the vintage costume because it was just like a little plastic, kind of little thing that you put on for like the shirt and the legs that you fit in. And then just one of those little plastic masks of Bart Simpson's face that has just a white string in the back. Things were pretty simple, in the 80s and 90s. It wasn't really too extravagant unless you went like above and beyond. But, some of those vintage costumes, they actually still fetch some pretty good money because most of them don't fucking exist anymore. People threw them away or they got damaged. And I remember when I went in like first grade, without even planning it, my teacher came as Marge and did the whole hair and everything, and it was actually kind of badass. So everyone else was like dressed up, but then we had like the matching, Marge and Bart going down. So good memories, But I usually, we'll do like maybe like a wig or like long hair. There it is. Like I called. Back. Giancarlo Stanton. See ya. My ESP is on today. Let's go, baby. Sometimes you just know when someone is about to do something special. And I've been watching sports for a very long time, like a lot of y'all in the room. And sometimes if you just say it out loud, then this happens 30 seconds later. And it may not happen all the time. Sports gods are selective, on who they want to be able to show. But there we go. I'm not surprised. Again, I kind of, you get these inner feelings, and it's not just because, it's Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge. It's not like they homer every game. But sometimes when you feel Uncle Mo and you feel that presence in the air and you can kind of feel the moment, the energy in the air, your hair is starting to stand up a little bit. You've seen this scenario before where this type of shit has happened, right? Where one guy gets hot, then another. Aaron Judge, 2-run homer. Jazz Chisholm with an unexpected solo homer. Now Giancarlo with a homer. It's a home run party. And, the Shohei Ohtani, we may get that today, but it's kind of feeling now that you're not going to get it today. You're going to have to wait until Game 6 So that way that the moment is on him, and then you get that, and then the Dodgers win. So if the sports gods are listening and then that shit happens, you'll be like, damn, this guy's connected and somehow to the sports gods or some kind of parallel matrix and whatnot. Rizzo, line drive, nice catch out there by Mookie Betts. Yeah. Yeah, and some are more than that, depending on where you're sitting. So. Well, ultimately, for baseball, yeah, there can be some things where definitely based off like point spread and you like point, you're over, under, and like the different parlays and the bets. But I feel like it's a lot easier to make more of an impact on a big call, like in football or basketball or even hockey. But for baseball, it's like if a pitcher is shitty, if the ump starts calling it for that pitcher, the pitcher still is shitty. Like he's not going to be able to make up for him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a short period of time before someone knows something weird is going on, even if you end up getting guys that are like Angel Hernandez. So I feel like, sports is about momentum, but it's a little bit harder to throw a baseball game, I feel, as far as an ump is concerned. And they've done it where they've taken, it feels like the game out of the pitcher's hands or the hitter's hands, and, they're calling a crazy strike zone. Or if you end up getting a 50-50 play that's controversial, it might go a certain direction or narrative, based on maybe extending the series, and making more money. Because as you know, every time we go to a game 6 and a game 7 in the MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL, what does that mean? More money, more ratings, So a lot of times if they have these calls that are right down the middle one way or another, and then it's blatantly wrong, or they don't call it, like the Bucky Irving, Sam Darnold face mask, it's blatant, it's there, and you're telling me that 3 or 4 refs that have pictures taken where they're staring at exactly that, and I didn't see it. Then it makes you kind of wonder a little bit. Bottom of the third, 5-0 Yankees. Awesome to be seeing Aaron Judge, Jazz Chisholm, and Giancarlo Homer in the same game. That's what we've missed as far as fans. Now, Dodger fans don't like this, but as far as like just watching and enjoying, the World Series, you expect the best players on planet Earth to step up, if possible, and as much as they possibly can. But pitching and defense, is the difference. And if you have a dominant pitching and defense, that's going to be the difference in the World Series winner. But awesome to be able to see the bats get alive for the Yankees at least one more game before the Dodgers end up winning in LA in game 6. We want to see a good competitive matchup. And if the Yankees ride this momentum, it is possible they could win that first one in LA. But if it does go to game 7 with that energy and that crowd, they wouldn't be able to win that. And then that would be the end. So now, if we actually had more teams in MLB history that have come back from 3-0, then I could say, you know what? Yeah, maybe they do have a chance. Like if we've had like 5 or 10 teams that have been down 3-0 in the World Series and then come back and won, then we can be like, yes, you know what? It's a small percentage, but maybe they're good enough and they could do it. But when you've had literally no team that's ever done it in MLB history, could the Yankees be the first? Anybody could be the first, but just based on, playing at home or playing on the road, just as fun as it is playing in front of your fans in New York, we see what the vibes are in LA when things are fucking rocking over there as well. And, I feel like the Dodger crowd is slightly a little bit more amped up than the Yankee crowd. The Yankee crowd gets pretty amped up as well. But if you're looking like person for person, who's bringing more energy, I think I give a slight nod to the Dodger fans in Dodger Stadium, just by a little, based on what we've seen, by crowd interaction. But, if the Yankees can keep the momentum going, more money, more games, more excitement, and that gives us another stream to do. So we'll be doing Thursday Night Football. Happy Halloween for tomorrow. Texans and Jets could be worse. we could end up having too much shittier teams play. So I'm actually kind of happy about the matchup. I do like watching the Texans. No Stephon Diggs, ACL tear, out for the year. Shitty, right? Nico Collins, injured, not ready yet, but at least Hank Dell's there, Joe Mixon's there, CJ Stroud is there, the defense is there, and then you'll get Aaron, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Lazard, and Devontae Adams. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, if they decide to make it go 7 instead of 6, but again, you can definitely see it's not like they're going to be, yep, we're going to do it in this game or that, but there's going to be a different type of energy in LA. And New York is not a team that you want to play around with, neither is LA. Either of these teams, we have said, at any given point can score 10. They're the only teams in baseball that can do that. So it's like if you let a team hang around too much, you could end up being on the wrong end of history, and then the Yankees end up being like the first team to come back, from 3-0. And can you imagine the legacy, of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo and and Chisholm and everyone else, Volpe, like their superstar status would go to a whole nother level of like eliteness, where it's like we talk about Shohei Ohtani, but all the shit that he did this year wouldn't really mean that much if they don't win the whole thing, and if they can end up, making history, some team is going to do it, within the next 50 years. It's going to happen where you're going to get a team down 3-0 in the World Series and they're going to win 4, and they're going to, be the most famous team in like sports team history as far as baseball is concerned, and even maybe crossing over into like basketball and, some of the other sports. It's not a common thing that happens in professional sports, but once you get one team to do it, then there'll be another. Yeah, but the same thing could have been said for Judge. He just homered today, so they both were 2 for 15 going in. But Ohtani will homer before this World Series is over. Put my word on that. Like I said, my ESP is good, dude. I got good connects and good plugs with the ESP. So it's like, Ohtani and Judge, it's like you even with Giancarlo, at some point, you're going to have elite pitching, you're going to have mid pitching, and you're going to have shitty pitching. And there's going to be someone that's going to throw a first pitch strike right down the middle to try to get ahead of the count 0-1. They're going to miss, they're going to swing, and it's going to be gone. And that's, we've already seen 2 out of the 3 guys do it now with Judge and Stanton. I think the Jazz was a little unexpected when you get a little guy that ends up doing it too. But, you feed off that energy, and sometimes you feed off that energy off that superstar like Judge, and then all of a sudden Jazz does his best impersonation of Judge or Stanton, and then he ends up going yard. Little guys can go yard too. Jazz, Volpe, Rizzo trying to headbutt. Hockey from home. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And plus, even if you don't like Ohtani or Judge, right? If you don't give a shit about either one, or you don't like either of these teams, at the end of the day, we want the best players, to be playing the best that they can. No one wants to be like, oh, Ohtani and Judge are the 2 best players on planet Earth, but then they went to the World Series and sucked ass, and it was up to everyone else to win it. No one wants that. Like, you want to have your best guys in the sport deliver, 4 times than not, Nobody wants to see the best players on planet Earth choke in the biggest fucking series, in the biggest games. Next up is Freddie Freeman. Mr. October. Mr. Electric. Mr. I'm here. Used to be Reggie Jackson. Used to be Corey Seager. Now it's Freddie Freeman. Now, can he hit a home run in this game? 5 home runs in 5 straight games. I mean, if anyone could do it, Freddie is one of those guys. Again, I feel that he is the most intelligent Dodger hitter on the team. I feel he's got the best eyes. And, with him, he's one of those players. Back, all the way to the wall and caught. Wow. Aaron Judge slamming into the wall. What a catch. But, Freddie, I feel also hits the best against like righties and lefties. Like when he gets a lefty on lefty, some guys get scared, but with him and certain guys like King Griffey Jr., you like that. You love it when you see a lefty going against you because you just feel like you're going to own him. And if you look at his numbers versus lefties and righties, I mean, it's amazing. And sometimes, we put all the spotlight on, the two top guys, Judge and Ohtani. But if you have Hall of Famers like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Juan Soto that are also playing, or a guy like a Giancarlo Stanton, then sometimes, it might be number 2 or number 3 or number 4, or it might end up being someone that's even lower in the lineup like a Volpe. That's like a 6 or a 7, and that ends up being the unsung hero. Top of the 4th, 5-0, New York. Teoscar Hernandez grounded out to the shortstop. That's the second. 2 away. Got to hit that one a little harder. Next up, third baseman Max Muncy. And you know what's a very glaring thing, Captain? When you've been watching this World Series and we watch Mariner games where I did, like 150 out of like 162 games. My goal every year is to do like 150 games or more. And if I'm only going to miss 10 or 12, it's going to be because it's on at like 9 or 10 a.m., or we got like a WWE pay-per-view that we're doing instead, or like a football game on the NFL side, something like that. But one thing that I've noticed in this particular World Series, we don't really see as many double plays on a consistent basis that we used to see when you watch other teams play. And obviously we're not in the same category as these teams, but think about how many times that you've watched the game and thought, man, for every time that these guys are, getting RBIs or pop-ups or ground outs, like you're not really seeing a lot of consistent double plays. And knowing our luck, watching the Mariners, sometimes we would fuck up so bad, we would hit into a double play 3 innings in a row. And sometimes we have guys like bases loaded, guys on first and third, second and third, first and second, doesn't matter. And then somehow sometimes you have 0 outs, bases loaded, and you don't even get 1. That's when you got shit to improve on the roster, right? But it's been a pretty clean series. But again, the pitching in games 1 and 2 for the Dodgers and 3, were about what you needed, even though Flaherty wasn't very good in game 1. But they got that grand salami by Freddie to bail him out, right? And then obviously Yoshinobu, incredible. Walker Buehler, incredible. And then the last 2 pitchers that we've seen here, Flaherty and the Jobbers from yesterday, pitching makes all the difference. If you don't have a guy that is above average, good, or elite, you just have a guy, you think just a guy is going to be able to get guys like Aaron Judge out, and Giancarlo Stanton. At some point, you're going to throw that first pitch strike to get ahead of the count and goodbye. Muncy popped up. They leave a guy on second stranded. 5-0 Yankees. What a game. He's exciting. Let's go through some photos here one more time before I go through. I found another one. There you go. I gotta make a little bit more room. Never dressed up in Star Trek. Maybe Star Wars one day. Handsome fella. That is true. We win in the strangest way, like any other team, can win the normal way. But the Mariners have to do it in like the most like bizarre, crazy way where it has to be a line drive and it's going to have to like get deflected off the pitcher. And then we have to like bunt and then we have to like move a guy over and then we end up winning the game. And instead of it being a big like walk-off home run or a big walk-off normal RBI, it's going to be off like a deflection, off like some flukish play, and then we slide in head first, almost get tagged out. They review it, and then we win. Like it's never easy for us, but that it does make it exciting. But also too, when you're not consistent, there's a lot more heartbreak and heartache because your team isn't as good as some of the others, and if you don't have faith in the owner or the GM or the manager or even the players that are playing, it's like you have liabilities out there. Sometimes it makes it more difficult, but we definitely win in the strangest ways. I agree to that. Matt in the building. What's good? Red is back. That is true. That is true. I just want us to get consistent, I want to be able to see Cal Raleigh get recognized as like the best catcher in baseball or like top 2. Like, Adley Rushman's always going to be more popular. Salvador Perez is getting old and he's almost like retired. So, at some point, if Cal's batting average, hits, 250 to 300 and he's doing these types of stats that he's doing right now, I mean, he's going to be recognized as number 1. And then also having, someone like Julio on the team that could be maybe a top 5 or top 10 player if he ever gets consistent. He does flashes of playing like a top 5 player defensively, running the bags, sometimes hitting, but, we definitely need he needs to put in a lot of work. Like Julio is one of those guys that if he ends up taking this job like seriously and wants to be one of the like Hall of Famers and one of the best Mariners ever, not just playing baseball and representing the country, but like going deep like Kobe and it's like watching film like a fucking madman every day, like hitting the cage an extra hour every day, like, asking other professional, athletes like for help, and tips, on how to be able to have a stance and, other than just what you're working with, like with Edgar Martinez, like going above and beyond to try to be the best at your craft. Now, if Julio ever does that, yeah, he'll be a Hall of Fame player. But if he doesn't do those things, he probably will just be like, a multiple all-star, but maybe like borderline Hall of Fame player or maybe not. So it's like, I really hope that he takes it serious and puts in the work. Because only natural raw talent can get you so far. And then if you want to be the best of the best, steal more bags, instead of stealing 30, try to get 40 or 50. Instead of getting 20 home runs, get 30, 40, 50, try to be able to be like an Ohtani or a Judge, and we've seen Julio with flashes, but it's all about consistency. And if you're good one year, shitty one year, nobody wants an Eli Manning, and that's what it is. It's like great one year, shitty next year. Great one year, shitty next year. And even Eli Manning might end up getting into the Hall of Fame just because the last name is Manning and he beat Brady twice. But I think for most of us, we probably feel he's not deserving of Hall of Fame when we think of like, the best of the best, like Brady and Peyton Manning and Joe Montana, and John Elway. And then Eli, and I got to respect, the defense with Strahan and what they were able to accomplish, the Giants twice and obviously Eagles once on Tom, but they went 10 fucking times, NFC East had his number, but you got to have consistency. Can't just be good one year, bad the next, because then, Julio will turn into the Eli Manning of the baseball world where everyone recognizes he does have greatness. But again, it's like if you're getting paid like $1 bazillion and you're like the face of the franchise and Cal Raleigh ends up being the best player on the team instead of you better catch up and, hopefully one day get on the Cal Raleigh level or surpass him, even though they played different positions. And then if that happens, we keep the pitching staff, add some good pieces. Brett says keep Garv on the team for life, even though that would be a piece that we would have to consider. Polanco as well. And nice hit there by Juan Soto. Man, crazy stuff. Never seen it before. But I did see an interview today that Gronk went to college with him. So it kind of makes sense. He did like Arizona hockey. And this guy was just fucking a goon, like crazy. Well, no shit. If he's doing shit like that, I can only imagine the frat parties there. But definitely those guys should be, banned, and not just Yankee Stadium, every ballpark. It's like, you can't like patrol that area like you're a cop, And like he came into your area and then they tried to get the ball, open the mid up. Like the most insane behavior you possibly could do at a game is what they did. And with all that effort trying to open it up, Judge, and that's back to the wall into the warning track, 2 away. And they didn't even get the ball. It's like, yeah, after all that, of course you weren't going to be able to keep the ball even if he had it. At some point security would have, gotten it from him. Terrible, terrible, terrible fans. But every fan base has got fans like that, unfortunately. Next up, third baseman Jazz Chisholm. The Marlin prospect, has all-star ability, right? But was a little immature. But when you go to the Yankees, you have to grow up. He certainly has. He's been on a little bit of a slump, but the last couple games he started to heat up. And he does have a solo dinger early in the matchup. Jazz Chisholm. 1 for 2 with a solo homer in the first. Nice job, Toby. Yeah, and like I said, he's getting better, but now you're all your receivers are injured, or trying to get into good playing shape and whatnot. So, but good performance, by him last week. Just need more consistency. When Trevor's getting 20 points or more in fantasy, chances are the Jags won the game, or if they lost, it was barely. So, more 20-point games in fantasy for Trevor. And then if he keeps doing that, then eventually he'll be a top 10 quarterback because he's just outside the top 10 now. But that's a lot better than where he was earlier in the year where he was like top 20, top 25, and then got slowly a little bit better, top 20, top 15. And then now, I think right now he's like in the top 12. So like 11 or 12, kind of near Goff and Darnold and a few others where you can get probably 15 to 18 fantasy points. But again, sometimes in fantasy, you want to get 20 to 30 or 20 to 40. But not every guy has Lamar, or someone that could do something like that, or Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen. It's like if you don't got those 3 guys, it's probably not going to happen, unless you get extremely lucky with like Burrow to chase and you get 40 each, which is Heaney, I think, had a game like that. So bottom of the 4th, 5-0 Yankees, runners at first and second with 2 outs. 1 for 2, Jazz Chisholm. Yeah. Take care of your fingers. I remember, like my first jobs, like early on, I did the whole crawdadding thing with my dad and my dad's friend with the, crayfishing. And that was like when I was like 12. But, after that, doing like Thriftway and then being a bag boy, then wanting to do like the recycling. So I wouldn't have to be around as many people and I could take care of that with like the cans and the machine. And that was kind of fun. And then did, food court stuff like with Euros, KB Toy Store, and a few others. But when you end up working in a food spot, if you ever have done that growing up, when you're 18 to 25 or 18 to 30 and you're in a food spot, whether it's fast food or, a location, like a Panda Express or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely, it's different than you think. Like you go there and you order and you eat and then whatnot, like if you have food at like the mall food court, but then you don't really realize like how things are behind the scenes and everything and what it all looks like back there and whatnot, how it all operates. But yeah. Yeah, you can't be rushing, man. You just gotta, any new job that you do, no matter what age you are, it takes time to get good and get, a good rhythm on how things go. Nobody's going to be an expert on anything right out of the gates. You might have potential and be better than others, right away, but everyone still needs to practice at whatever. Yes, they are. But again, pitching and defense, right? So again, if you have your best pitchers, which would be Yoshinobu and Walker Buehler, and you have them available to pitch yesterday or today, then we're probably not talking right now. And the series is probably over with a sweep or Dodgers in 5. But again, if you don't have access to like a Clayton Kershaw, since he's old and not really healthy, or like a Dustin May or Gratterall or any top-notch guy that normally would have been a starter that you would have had a chance with, then you're going to have 2 good pitchers and then 2 that you don't know, and they're probably going to get rocked, and that's what we've had. Pitching and defense, we thought would be the Yankees would be at the advantage, but in the first 3 games, it was the Dodgers. But remember, in game 1, Flaherty didn't do very good either and had to get bailed out by the grand salami by Freddie. So really, it's really been 2 good pitchers, Yoshinobu, Walker Buehler. Those guys pitch, they win. And if they also pitch at home, it's a win-win. You're probably not going to be able to steal that. But sometimes sports and momentum, if the Yankees make this like a 10-0 game, maybe they end up winning, game 6, even though the crowd is juiced. And then we get the magnificent game fucking 7. Then the Dodgers win then. And maybe Ohtani hits a home run, and whatnot. But Freddie is the MVP. But we'll see on how long it goes. But the longer, the better. NASCAR Cup Series, I'm a huge fan. Is only got 2 races left. World Series, we're already on fucking game 5. And then we got a few months off, but at least we got NFL, college football, NHL, NBA, college hoops, WWE, AEW. So even if you're, going to be missing a little bit of baseball or NASCAR, we still got other shit that will keep us occupied, Yeah. Well, obviously, I think a lot of people are really rooting for Teoscar too. Blue Jay fans, Mariner fans, Dodger fans, Teoscar fans in general. So again, sometimes when you end up having a guy in a new spot, and he was a part of your team or a different team, there's certain guys that are a little bit more likable than others. Kike, there you go, baby. That's my guy. Kike Hernandez. He's a utility guy. Kind of Swiss Army knife, kind of like a Taysom Hill in the NFL. He can really be put in any spot in the lineup, 1 through 9, and DH. And he's one of those guys that normally has about a 200 average, but for whatever weird reason, when it goes into the playoffs in the postseason, got like 15 homers in postseason, damage. So it's just kind of crazy to think someone could be just kind of meh, sometimes hot, sometimes not, and most of the time kind of below average, and maybe 1 good game out of every 4 that you see him in, and then all of a sudden it goes to the playoffs and he's like fucking on every other at bat and like doing crazy things, big home runs, big RBIs, big game-winning moments. And some guys are just built for the spotlight, and this guy is one of them. Next up, Tommy Edman, a guy that's been struggling on defense, but his bat has been hot. He has been electric with the bat, but defense, not so much. But hopefully that will get a little bit better. But I like it when it goes 7 games for the Stanley Cup, the NBA Finals, or obviously the World Series. That's another opportunity for us to be able to hang out and watch another game. Game 7s are the fucking best. What's better than a Game 7? I mean, Super Bowl is pretty badass, natty. I mean, if it ends up being 2 good teams, hopefully Oregon, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State this year. But sometimes the Super Bowl matchup underwhelms. Like I feel with that particular, when you just do one, I feel like the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship sometimes is the real Super Bowl. Like you actually get better games, maybe not both, but usually there's like one game. Sometimes it could be both that end up being better than the Super Bowl, but typically it's one. There's like that, oh my God, to get them there. Aaron Judge with the bugaboo. Sliding in, safe. Will Smith. Oh my. Aaron Judge with the flubbage. You don't really see Aaron Judge make too many mistakes like that. Aaron, it was that guy. Not me, that guy. Routine play, and he just closed the mitt just a split second too early. Do they have like calzones and stuff there? Do they have stuff like other than the normal pizza? Like if I worked at a place like that, I would be like trying all like the weird stuff, like the stuff that is not maybe like a normal order, you know, or something that's like a little bit more costing and whatnot. I don't know what that would be, but I mean, you're going to get some places that'll have like good wings if they're a pizza spot, or maybe good mozzarella sticks, like good sides, you know, but is it like the best thing that they have, or like one of the best? Like, you know, we all have like specialty places that you can get, you know, like Buffalo Wild Wings and other stuff at like your store. I can't even tell you the last time I had the Hut. A couple years. Not opposed to it, but I'm just a round table pizza kind of guy. You know, King Arthur, combo, everything on it. Green pepper, onion, olive, sausage, pepperoni, cheese, the delicious goodness of the ultimate combo. And it's like, you know, I grew up with that. And so it's like my favorite to this day. Like, can I eat pepperoni pizza? You bet your ass I can, you know? Go to like one of those food carts and get a piece that's like the size of your fucking head. Yeah. You know, but I think that all of us have like a favorite thing. For me, it's like Flavor Town. So give me more toppings, the better. And then that's going to be like the you know, ultimate World Series type of food. Or like Super Bowl. Or Stanley Cup Final. Or NBA Finals. You want to lay down over here? Come over here, lay down. Come here, lay down. Oh, LA with another break. Bases loaded. They're like, you got to have that little bit of suspense. Papa Murphy's with the barbecue chicken. That's a good one, too. Oh, Paisley, sit down over here. Come here. Sit down. Lay down. Lay down over here. Lay down. Over here. Good girl. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. All right. Calzone, pizza melt, pasta, breadstick. Yeah. See, I think for me, I mean, I know a lot of people, they like to go, oh, pepperoni pizza. This is like, you know, and then they just kind of go through their routine of the same thing. I like to get kind of adventurous and like, let me try something that's kind of like a side piece menu, you know, and then maybe it ends up being something that I end up liking. You got to be able to live life, you know. Otherwise, you'll never know what like pho tastes like, or pad thai and other things that you might you know, be afraid to try, and then you try them and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Bases loaded, 5-0 Yankees. Garrett Cole to Gavin Lux. Top of the fifth, 5-0 Yankees. But the Dodgers are knocking on the door. How many will they get this inning? Minimum of 2. Big swing and a miss. Behind the count, 1-2 for Gavin Lux. And the one change in the lineup was moving Gavin Lux to the 9 hole and switching him with Tommy Edman. And we'll find out if that ends up being a bad move. And obviously things get strategic from time to time, but that was really the only move in the lineup here that's different today. Not sure if Lux in the 9 is really ideal. Edman can handle that role a little bit better. And he strikes out. Goodbye. 1 away. Next up, some guy named Shohei. Stud. pretty cool that we got like the two best players on the planet playing, and then you get other guys that are just ridiculous. Like the big three and the big three, like it's already cool enough if it was just Shohei and Judge and that was it. Still be awesome, right? But then to have Mookie and Freddie, and then to have Soto and Giancarlo, I mean, I don't know. I think as far as fans are concerned, 3-on-3 is fucking insane. Like even 1-on-1 is insane. So it's like, I feel like a lot of baseball fans that hate both of these teams that are like boycotting and not watching, like at some point, you know, you can just say, fuck it, I don't like these teams or whatever. But if this means anything to you in your life, baseball, you know, it's like sometimes you got to be able to suck it up and, you know, watch the best play. Sometimes they do good. Sometimes they struggle like Ohtani and Judge have this year. And hopefully this isn't the last time that we see this matchup. If Soto re-signs with the Yankees, we'll get this matchup next year or the following year more than likely. But if Soto jumps to the Dodgers, then you're going to get the Dodgers here more than likely next year or the following year. And you probably don't get the Yankees in this game because the Orioles and the Astros and everyone else, they're getting close. Shohei, swing and a miss, got him. Next up for the Dodgers, 0 for 1, base on ball. Right fielder, Mookie Betts. Hopefully he won't have a fan try to grab him or open his mitt to get the ball. Don't be like them. Mookie Betts. Mookie, slow Rizzler. Oh, nobody at first. Unbelievable. See, and pitching and defense is crazy because people take it for granted, you know, like being on, you know, the base, being in your spot, not getting lackadaisical for even fucking one play. Because if you end up just like not paying attention or just kind of getting out of the zone, waiting for, you know, each pitch and just assuming, right? Like there's nobody there. The pitcher is supposed to be there, and you end up hesitating. And not only is Mookie safe, that ends up bringing in a run. And like I said, you're going to get at least 2 in this inning. Baseball, man. Sloppy, you know, and this is something I'm used to because I'm a Mariner fan. And I'm used to us having a nobody out, bases loaded, not scoring any. Or hitting into a double play inning after inning after inning. So I know what it's like to be, you know, this team that can't do it, and they have to make it like I can't do it in the most magnificent way. You know, only thing that it would be better would be like, oh, we had triple plays against us, you know, and then we would know that, you know, maybe we would have to sell the team or something. But pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Freddie Freeman. Michael in the building. Fly, Eagles, fly. What's good? Michael Myers, great choice. Mr. October. It's not Reggie Jackson. It's not Corey Seager. Freddie Freeman, especially if he ends up hitting a grand salami right here and we get a tie game. 5 home runs in 5 straight games. I mean, we're talking about Ohtani. We're talking about Judge. Right? But we need to talk a little bit more about this guy, fucking Freddie Freeman. He's got the best eyes and the best awareness out of anybody in MLB, in my opinion, besides maybe Luis Ariz. Like, Freddie is one of those guys. He's very, very good against righties and lefties. His technique, his swing, but just being able to be patient in the box. I don't think I've seen a better all-star Hall of Famer at his age be more patient than him. And patience leads to waiting for the right pitch to be able to take advantage of a base hit. And it doesn't have to be a home run or a grand salami. That's just something that we're blessed with currently. You know, but normally it's just a regular single RBI or a double. Freddie is putting himself into a whole other category. I imagine his memorabilia is starting to skyrocket. Especially if they end up winning this World Series on Friday in Game 6 at home. Imagine if Freddie homered, you know, in this game and in the next game. Homers in every game in the World Series. There's Freddie with a hit. That's an RBI. Let's go, baby. I told you they'd be getting at least 2, and they got 3. Oh, my. Yankees, you got to play defense. And if you can't play defense, bye-bye. This team is just like you, can score 10 runs in any given game. And a 5-0 lead is now 5-3. And this is the one team, when they get down, they don't care. They have too much talent, too many Hall of Famers, and they even got a guy like this that might not be a Hall of Famer, but maybe one day, if he ends up winning 2 or 3 rings, maybe he will be. So you got to think, it's not just, oh, this guy, right? Or MVP, Mr. October, and that's just the top end of the order. Okay. Garrett Cole, you should probably have pulled him. Next up, Teoscar Hernandez, another individual that has been struggling, but with one swing could give them the 6-5 lead. I think it's cool to be able to see guys, especially that are good guys. You're not going to see Freddie Freeman in trouble. You're not going to hear him about breaking the law. He's a family guy. He's had some unfortunate circumstances with his son, his mom, and everything. Like, he's the ultimate teammate. Like, I honestly feel even at his old age, if the Mariners get a player like that, not only would it impact us with wins, his overall attitude would rub off on the other guys to make our team better. And of course, there's going to be other guys that are better players, but at this point in his career, he's still one of the top players in the game, and he's proving it. Obviously in his prime in Atlanta, you brought him over here to the Dodgers to win World Series, with Mookie, Shohei, Yoshinobu, trying to build it. Garrett Cole, pitching and defense, and you can't get lazy even for 1 or 2 plays, because if you do, right, when you get lazy on those 1 or 2 plays, it's always in a moment when someone's going to score. It's never like, oh, if I fucking get lazy here and I don't hit this, ball that goes into foul territory and I don't catch it, whatever. Like, it ends up being like a game-changing event. Back. Yeah, baby! Teoscar, let's go. Let's go, baby. Big players do big play things. All right. It's like Yankee fans could have had their moment, but the sports gods, they saw that shit those fans did. They might say this bitch is going to be over tonight. Teoscar Hernandez, you talk good about a guy. We already know this is first ballot Hall of Fame. This is first ballot Hall of Fame. This guy's trying to be Mr. October and be like, hey, I should be considered more for the GOAT status and whatnot in World Series games and playoffs, especially World Series. And then you get this guy right here that is a big, big part. It's not just Ohtani. If they didn't have this, they wouldn't be in the World Series, period. This guy provided a lot of, offense, defense, good vibes, and actually played very, very well, won the home run derby, has been electric. Teoscar Hernandez, 5-5, Dodgers, Yankees. Attaboy, Blue Jays. Attaboy, Mariners. We know what that's about, and I think Blue Jay fans loved him. Mariner fans loved him, even though he struck out a lot. But nice to be able to see one of our former guys have success. Get that fucking championship. Get that ring. Next up, Max Muncy. 1-0 count. Pitches high, 2 balls and no strike. We have ourselves a ball game. Maybe that electricity, because we did the 3-on-3. Like, this guy went fucking extra for the thumbnail. 3-on-3? This son of a bitch crazy? No, I want good games, and we're getting them now. 5-5, World Series. Three-0 count to Muncy. Yeah, like they should have pulled Garrett Cole in the 4th inning. I mean, as great as Garrett Cole is, or any of the pitchers, I mean, hell, you could even have a Skubal or Skeens or Sale, the top 3 guys this year in this situation, and they would be like Garrett Cole. You're only going to be able to mow down, the best players on planet Earth on the other team. You're only going to be able to maintain strikeouts and good play for so long. And then eventually, if you're pitching long enough, 4, 5, 6, 7 innings, if the team is as good as advertised, eventually one of their superstars is going to fuck you up. And then if it's one, maybe another, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of a run. And again, these two teams are the only two teams in baseball that can put up 10 on any given day. No matter what the game looks like. I mean, the game looks over. 5-0, Yankees won. It's over. You go to the bathroom. You go to grab food. You come back 10 minutes later. 5-5. But that's what it is. Nice job, Teo. Next up, PK Hernandez. When I got his foul ball, it was in slow motion. Like watching him in the box when the ball was hit, and it was like going in slow motion. They talk about like pro athletes, the game slows down, for these guys, and you start seeing things kind of in a slow motion, at least when like the good players get that way. But like that baseball was like the ultimate super slow motion, and it was like so crazy, like sitting in like the 15th row, 20th row, and like the perfect spot off first base. It's not coming at you line drive, so you're like, oh my god, I got to duck, I'm gonna get hit in the head and I'm gonna get hurt. But it's kind of like lofting, into your area. It's coming at you with some good speed, but like not anything to be threatened about. Yeah, it was almost unbelievable. Top of the fifth, 5-5. Runners at first and second. PK Hernandez. A utility player, Mr. Everything. That's about 200 in the regular season. Most people don't give a shit. Good maybe every fourth or fifth game. And occasionally we'll get a home run or, an RBI, but you don't really expect a whole lot. And then postseason, Kike Hernandez, like 15 career postseason homers, one of the best of all time. Like for whatever reason, he goes from being a 150 to 200 hitter to a 300, 400 hitter, and also making big plays in the biggest moments where when he ends up getting an RBI or a home run, it's not just like a regular one. It ends up winning the game for the Dodgers. So when you can win games like that, and become like, I'm one of the bottom guys on the team, but when I get put in a tough spot, I'll step up and be a hero, play as good as, Ohtani or Freddie or Mookie or Teoscar. That's saying something. X factor. Just like Anthony Volpe is for the Yankees. 0-2. Got him. Chopper. And tag second. Go to the bottom of the fifth. High five. We have a game. Yeah. And I feel that if you take, certain World Series for granted and don't understand like why so many people in Japan are watching, not just for Yoshinobu or Ohtani, it's like having the respect for Aaron Judge and Soto and Giancarlo and some of these other guys. But to go from 2 players, right? And then we step it up and then we go 3. Oh, baby. But we're getting it, man. You put in the ultimate effort, you get the ultimate game in return. Thank you, Sports Car. Great players on both sides. Like, we haven't really seen this before, where legit every guy that you look at that's on there, that could end up hitting a home run, end up making a big RBI. Every guy could hit 30, 40, 50 home runs. Like, there's nothing really that surprises you when you look at greatness. You just know it comes in different shapes and sizes and on, different teams. They have a kind of a different way about it and about themselves. But, greatness is cool to be able to see, whether you love the Dodgers or hate them or love the Yankees or hate them. Everyone's got their own swagger and style and the way that they do it. And that's what makes baseball so great. And that's why my dad, loved Koufax and Willie Mays and, the old school Mickey Mantle era, that he grew up in. It's like once you start seeing greatness, you're not going to see it every year, and every generation is built different. Like, take advantage of what we're seeing right here. All right, take care. Appreciate you. And enjoy your costume of Anson for Halloween. Like I said, if I had more money to go get a costume, I totally would for the stream tomorrow for the Jets and the Texans. But I mean, if it comes down to something like that, I would rather take care of Paisley and get her something that she needs. You got priorities. You got to take care of the priorities. I had to check up on Paisley. Go to first, grounded out to second. Oh, baby. Penn State, Ohio State. I can't wait. You always wonder, who are the crazy people that actually wake up early to watch, Gus and Joel call a game at 9 a.m. on Fox. And that's me. And I know some of you in the room are those people too. I don't love waking up early, when I got shit to do with Paisley and other stuff that I have to do within the day. But again, if it's going to be the best announcers, best matchup, implications to a lot of us in our Big Ten, it's going to be sweet. I get disappointed when Gus and Joel aren't on the best game every week. These guys are the best in football, in my opinion. Even on the NFL side, Brady's getting better. Some people like Nance and Romo. Some people don't. I don't really think anyone says, I love Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I don't think anyone really says that. Or I love Chris Collinsworth. I don't think anyone says that either. But Gus and Joel give you the right blend of intelligence and excitement, and it's genuine. And that's what makes them the best. They're not trying to show off. They're not trying to, scream and be fake excited, on big plays and try to just not have a genuine vibe when you're calling a game with your reactions. It's over the top fake, but just genuinely loving football and, being intelligent, obviously with Gus. And then with Joel, obviously being the color guy and the fill-in guy, super intelligent, great voice, just like Gus, and a good blend, a good combo, like the best tag team in the fucking world. Gus and Joel, they're the best. TK Hernandez is there. 2 away. I mean, I'm also a Madden and Summerall guy. I like duos, if it's available. But not everyone is going to be on the same level. And then also we have the, the Vince Scully, Harry Carey, Dave Niehaus. When you have the grandpa voice, Keith Jackson, that did Pac-8, Pac-10 games on ABC when I was a kid. I love his voice. If you ever listen to his voice, it's just so iconic. Reminds me of the Joey Harrington era and just all the crazy shit that was going on around that time in the late 90s and the early 2000s. That's when my real love of connection with Oregon football took a whole nother level. Joey Harrington was that guy. Bilotti was the guy. And then Chip. And then Cristobal. And then now Lanny. Bottom of the 5th. 5-5. Dodgers Yankees. Anthony Volpe had his Anthony Volpe moment in game number 4. Big swing and a miss. Good for him. Memorabilia went up a little bit last night. My favorite player that's not a superstar on that team. And even before that Grand Salami happened, I still would have said that, and I have. Just something about him, kind of gives you. He's not going to ever be like Jeter, But again, when you end up getting kind of like a short guy that seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, has talent. We heard about him before he even came up in the big leagues, and it just seems like a guy that's going to pan out for them and could end up being one of the better Yankees if he keeps developing in their history if he stays there. And I like that. And it's like I feel like if you can recognize talent, even if you're not a fan of that team, you can kind of tell like what guys have the higher potential and ceiling than others. Not every player is on the same level. And then an impression of what Gus and Joel. Man, I don't even want to do an impression, even if I could, because they are, like I look up to Gus. Like there's not too many people, that I don't go out of my way and like watch any other YouTube channels or copy anybody's thumbnails or the way that they're, I'm too busy taking care of Paisley and, trying to do the research and watch film for you guys and for myself here. But Gus and Joel, man, they are fantastic. They're so good that they should be doing NFL games and college games. And they should be like doing the biggest ones. That's how good they are. I know Nance and Romo, are good, but if it came down to Super Bowl and they actually were going to give those guys an opportunity, but it's like they haven't really done NFL games. They do college, so you have to you have to be comfortable with the names, the pronunciation. You have to watch. And I imagine that both those guys are very, very heavy NFL watchers, but just based off their chemistry, the way that their voice sounds, and the genuine love for the game, they are the only ones that are on TV right now, and they have both. They're the same type of guy, where it's like genuine, the love of football, super intelligent, great voice, and a good broadcast every time. You never hear anyone say, "Oh my God, did you hear that Gus and Joel Klatt? No, terrible." Said no one ever. Some of us recognize the talent. They are by far the best. Yeah, Nance and Romo are the best in the NFL. There's nobody better than them two. But that's a Jim Nance thing more than a Tony Romo thing. Romo is good at predicting the plays for being the quarterback and filling in as the color guy. But, let's be real. Jim Nance is the best on the NFL side. Very smooth, very fluid, intelligent, great cadence, good voice, doesn't fuck up often, just as a true professional, the best of the best. Everyone wishes they were as good as him, and they're not. And that's how it goes. And then, obviously having a Romo will, complement his gift, and they can kind of alley-oop to each other and whatnot, gain some chemistry for AFC games. But we're looking for the NFC side too, even though they want it to be like Burkhardt and Brady. But, for Brady, he's like kind of forcing it. And again, it's like when you end up doing that type of profession, he's going to have to do it for a couple years where he ends up being comfortable with himself and the way that he sounds on the mic and, his delivery. And he'll get better as the years go on. Duo count. Hey, Paisley. Lay down, baby. Lay down over here. Lay down over here. Lay down in your bed. Bottom of the fifth. 2-0 count, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need one more to get to 20, I think. So if someone, there we are. We're at 20. Let's get to 30 if we can. Oh, we gained another sub. We're just gaining subs left and right. I love it. Nice. Gained 14 in a day. That's very good. Paisley's here now. That's his dad. She needs. She loves daddy. You want to lay down? over here. Lay down over here. I got a little bit longer. Lay down over here. Lay down for Dad. Lay down over here. Come over here. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Come here. Lay down. Bases loaded. Bottom of the fifth. Lay down. It's comfy there. Stay in here. Love you. Al Michaels. Yeah, I like Al Michaels. Bottom of the fifth. 5-5. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bestia on the mound. Gleyber Torres in the box. Slide out to right. And that is the end of the fifth. Who's more annoying to you, McCoy or Emmanuel Acho? Acho is fucking terrible. You know, it's like sometimes it's just like the way the delivery comes out, and you can just tell that certain people are like trying too hard, and you have to just be yourself. You know, and if you can't be yourself, and or there's some kind of narrative or whatever you're trying to do, not everyone is created equal on the microphone. You know, it's like there's going to be some people that are amazing, but a lot of times they're amazing people. So it's just like what they do on the microphone comes natural because they're just amazing people. They're not fake, they're real, or they're genuine. That's just who they are, you know. And then you get the people that try to be someone that they're not, and they might fool people initially, but eventually everyone's colors come out. And I think that, you know, just because you played doesn't mean you're going to be good on the mic. There's certain people that shouldn't even, you know, be on the mic. They shouldn't even be on the mic. But again, you know, everyone's trying to get paid, right? Everyone's trying to get their money. But I think it's kind of shitty, though, because at least for me, I can't even really watch, sports talk anymore and enjoy it. I used to love Good Morning Football. I used to love Pat McAfee show. Like, we're talking, I religiously watched both every day for like years. You know, like there wouldn't be a time where I would miss a show, like beginning to end. You know, that's like loyalty. But, you know, as, you know, hosts change and, you know, different ventures change, you know, and obviously you get bigger and more popular. You know, ESPN starts wanting Pat's business and all that. I don't know. And then it got to a point where it's like, yes, I'll still try to tune in once in a while, but it's not going to be, you know, every day. And those are like the good ones. And then as far as like all the other stuff that's out there, like you can watch at your own risk. It's like I almost feel that you're going to end up being dumber if you end up watching any of the other shows, because a lot of times it's like these crazy personalities and then they have these opinions. And I think if you take it to heart and then you're like, yeah, this is real, I'm going to tell this to my friends, and then you get wrong information, then you look like an idiot. So. Going back in time. Top of the sixth. 5-5. Dodgers and Yankees. Next up, shortstop Tommy Edman. They still got Garrett Cole out there. Are they crazy? I mean, they do understand that this is World Series game number 5, right? This is like must win here. This is a very interesting strategy. I mean, they're really trying to get the most out of Garrett Cole. But I mean, when you had a 5-0 lead and if he gave up 5, I mean, I love Garrett Cole, but you got no confidence in anybody else but him. I mean, there's not one other pitcher that's a starter or a bullpen guy that you would have belief that could, you know, kind of stop the bleeding a little bit. Edman Lined out to left. One away. Next up, 0 for 2 with a run, catcher Will Smith. Yeah. I mean, if anyone knows that type of pain, or, hitting into double plays, multiple innings in a row, or, having bases loaded, or runners at second and third with like no outs or 1 out and not getting anything, like that's the worst feeling. Like you have a hard time hitting to begin with, and then you do get finally hits after who knows how long, how many innings, and then you have that happen. It's like soul crushing. As you see these other teams that get guys on every inning. So if they don't get guys to score, who cares? They just have to wait one more inning, and then they'll have another 2 or 3 guys on and another opportunity. But for teams like the Mariners, like it might be one opportunity like every 6 or 7 innings. So you better make sure it happens, or game over. Yeah, but managing the bullpen for what? The loss now or the loss in LA in game 6? I mean, we're talking about the end of the season now. Like, you got to try to win this, right? You don't win here. I mean, there is no LA game 6 on Friday. I mean, unless they feel Garrett Cole is the Roger Clemens of this team, and no matter how many innings he pitches, that he is the best option, and they're just going to ride or die with him. He gives up another 5 runs. Fuck it. If he, ends up, being the hero, even though he gave up 5. I don't know if he can really be a hero at this point. 5-0 lead, 5-5. Big swing and a miss. Will Smith struck out swinging. 2 away. Nice job. And I like that little whistle. The little whistle that you hear after the strikeout. Like those little things that you recognize in each person's like ballpark, where they have their own little like niches, and they have their own little things that they do specifically for them. The way that the announcer calls the game, or, certain music or certain whatever. I like those little things like that. I always like, noticing everyone's cool, whatever it is that makes them their team. I like that, and it's more than just like a hashtag and a theme for the year. It's usually deeper than that. Top of the 6th, 5-5. Paisley wants all of Dad's attention. We'll go on a walk in a little bit. We got to see if the Dodgers win the World Series here, or if we go to LA and have game 6 there. But we need more hits, and we're at 5-5. Yeah, I've seen that post. Naming off a lot of the people, but it's more than a developmental thing. It's also going to be on the organization. If you ended up drafting that player knowing that they were not ready, and then throwing them into the wolves in the fire with a team that's not complete. Again, what have you done for me lately? Business. So it's like there's not a lot of patience or time. It's like you got to win and win now. You can even be a Hall of Fame coach and only make it a year or 2. So players, I mean, there's a reason why players only play like usually 3-4 years, and that's the average. It's not going to be easy. But I just feel it's, a combination of bad coaching, but also, too, the players are just not good enough. Like, the bar is different when we have it with Brady, Manning, Montana, Elway. You just can't be a fucking scrub, and think that, you're a scrub every couple games and no one notices. Like the greats, they'll have their bad games, but, then they'll rifle off 6 good ones in a row, so... feel like a lot of these rookie classes that we're seeing, that they're just, there's only 32 spots to be an NFL quarterback. We don't even have 32 good ones, probably about 16. We have 10 elite, and then you got another 6 that are on the bubble, and then you got another 16 that they're playing, but there can be replacements. So there's not enough good coaching, patience, development, loyalty, and again, it's like to be able to have the same coaches and the same players develop together. Like if you can't get it done within the first couple of years, your time is up. Like you don't necessarily get a free pass to keep fucking up for like 10 years until you make it. But it is kind of sad when you have all those guys. But again, when I look at a lot of those guys, they're just not good enough. You could end up putting, maybe Bryce Young in like the Niners, and then he would be a better player than he is on the Panthers. But would he still, be limited as an athlete? Yes. So it's like you got a lot of these guys, but they're not really as talented as some of the others. They're not fucking Lamar Jackson. They're not fucking Jalen Hurts. They're not Josh Allen, and they're never going to be them. They're just not on that fucking level. Like that's plain and simple. You could develop all those motherfuckers you want, but at the end of the day, Will Levis is not turning into fucking Jalen Hurts. I don't care what kind of tutelage or coaching you're going to get. Top tier talent in fantasy is top tier talent in real life. Like not everyone is going to be blessed to be Lamar Jackson. And now we got an NFC version in Jaden Daniels. Pretty cool. These guys are built different. Zach Wilson cannot be a starter. Nothing he has shown that he can do it, physically or mentally and handle that spotlight. He's just a backup, man. He's a QB2, QB3. He ain't it. Especially when you got another class of rookies coming in. You always have to think in the next couple of years of the other quarterbacks coming in with Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning and Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Do we really want Zach Wilson starting in the NFL? No, fuck no. We want him to be a backup. He can still get paid and have a hot mom wife, whatever you want. But the caliber of players that are coming in, I mean, I don't know about you, but I would rather see Cam Ward pan out and be a top 12 quarterback rather than having to see Zach Wilson starting a game. Like, give me some of those guys to pan out. It would be cool to see Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning and Cam Ward and some of these guys. Hell, even Shedeur Sanders. If he ends up being a top 12 quarterback or top 16. But just like you can be good in college, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate to greatness in the NFL. Man's game. If you ain't built like Haloti Ngata, good luck. Because that's what it takes to be able to be beast mode. That's the difference. It's like you could be a freakish athlete like LaMichael and D'Anthony, and even they couldn't do it. Think about how crazy that is. How crazy LaMichael James was in college and D'Anthony, like Tyreek in the NFL, and they couldn't make it past, just like the first year, set of contract years. Like they did the 4 or 5 years. That's it. It's almost mind blowing. But if your frame is kind of small, you have to stay injury free, and it's a whole nother level out there. The players are bigger, faster, stronger. But I still love LaMichael and D'Anthony. They're still two of my favorite at the very top. Those are my guys. Soto with a walk. Bottom of the 6, 5-5, runner at first. Soto next up. All rise. Court is now in session. Aaron Judge in the box. Pitch is inside. 1-0 count. Yeah, Joey Harrington will always be like my very first favorite, but then, there's many, many others, but, LaMichael, D'Anthony, I don't have the jerseys and all that in the closet for no reason, especially when you have options with the Duck players over the years. Yeah, Kenyon Barner was great. It was a nice 1-2 combo. And then even having LeGarrette Blount and LaMichael at that moment, that was insane. It's like having Marshawn Lynch at Oregon, and that's exactly what we had. And then you get the speed guy and LaMichael. TJ Ward, Jarius Byrd, Walter Thurman III. I don't know. Stafford, for an old man, he still got it. I mean, if you got Cooper Kupp and you got Puka Nacua, and they're both top 10 receivers when healthy, that makes it a lot easier for your stat line to hit 20, 30 points in fantasy, especially if both guys are hitting, not just one. So, I mean, that's going to be a personal thing with Stafford and whatnot, and eventually they're going to have a new quarterback. But, for a guy that was putting up like 3 points in fantasy and 5 and 7, and then, first game you get actually Puka and Cooper coming off the injury and put up those kind of points, It's like if you put up 23 to 30, you're probably having a pretty good day with your receivers there. That's going to still be a battle with the Hawks. It's like the Cardinals will always be more than likely at the bottom, but it's always going to be Niners and Hawks, and then the Rams are going to be that team that's always going to be hanging around. Like they may be considered the third team, and they might be the underdog third team, but sometimes they'll end up being the second or the first. All right, Gratterall. Judge is walked. Next up, Jazz Chisholm Jr. We're at 20, 80 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's try to get to 30 likes before the stream ends if possible. 30 to 50 would be great, but it kind of depends on how the game goes. If the game keeps going like this and ends up being like something crazy in the bottom of the ninth, we'll probably get a little bit of a spike in viewership, or it'll hit the algorithm with a recommendation. Oh, bunt. That's another thing. We haven't been able to see bunting, like how important it was for Robles and the Mariners. Like, I would like to see an elite team that has elite hitters, think outside the box and strategize and have a couple bunts come down. They're not, so big. They're, too big to bunt. I mean, anyone could bunt. Maybe I'm just a fan of the things that we don't see that often. I just like to appreciate those little things. Force out at second on Aaron Judge. Fielder's choice. One away. Next up is 1 for 3 with a run RBI. Figured he'd homer today. Boom, boom. He did. Giancarlo Stanton. Will he homer again? All right, Giancarlo. Runners on the corners with 1 out. 5-5, bottom of the 6th. Giancarlo. Back, but that's going to come down in the wind. 2 away, tagging up from third, going into second. 6-5, Yankees. Stanton hit that sac fly to center. Soto scored. Chisholm to second. Oh my. Nice base running there and sliding in safe. Jazz being an athlete gives them that swagger and that athleticism, in the lineup. And again, every once in a while they'll even throw him in that cleanup spot. So you might be a small guy, but some people have that bigger guy energy. Where they Jazz has maybe a smaller frame, but more of an Aaron Judge personality. Based off how good Aaron is. 0 for 3, Anthony Rizzo, strikeout and 2 lineouts. This series 2 for 15, but that was Aaron Judge going into this series as well. Let's see if he can get something going for New York. Former Cubby. How's that one off? 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gratterall on the mound, 21 pitches in. Rizzo, 0 for 3. All right, Gratterall, show me. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low and inside at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo walked. Next up, shortstop Anthony Volpe. Pitches inside by Trinan to Volpe. 1-0 count. Pitch out the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Games 1 through 3, 1 for 12. Games 4 through 5, 4 for 6. Two-0 pitch from Trinan. In the zone for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike from Trinan to Volpe. Bottom of the 6, 6-5 Yankees. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 2-1 pitch incoming. Anthony Volpe. Four players, man. Well, I can't do 4 because it shifts back to LA, so then I have to do a different background. So this will be the last time that we use New York, because every thumbnail has the background of the location where the event is. So since we're going back to LA, we'll have a different background, but I might be able to swing something like that. But I have to make sure I squeeze them in so it doesn't, it actually looks good and it's not like cluttered. But I do like the way that, it looks, Hell, shit, at some point, maybe it'll be 5 and 5 or something, you never know. It's just about getting the right images to convert. Little ground ball, throw to first, got him. Yankees retake the lead, 6-5 in New York, end of the 6th. Let's go to the top of the 7th. Next up for the Dodgers in the top of the 7th, running out of time to get the home run here today. Maybe it'll be in game 6. Kind of feels like it. 0 for 3 for the K, but you can get a single. DHing Shohei Ohtani. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, base on ball. Can make a play on any given at-bat. Mookie Betts. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs. First baseman, Freddie fucking Freeman. Mr. October. Kind of good. Kind of electric. Yeah, sometimes I can get an image to convert like within 30 seconds. Others, it takes many options, and then sometimes it takes like 30 minutes to be able to find one that is up to your standard or whatnot. Or you're trying to get an image and the whole thing doesn't convert. You only get like the upper body or a missing part of the arm or the helmet, and it's like you want to try to have them as good as possible. Top of the 7th, 6-5 Yankees. I want to see a Shohei home run, but it doesn't really feel like it's going to be here. Like, it feels like he can get a base hit, but maybe the home run will be better tomorrow or on Friday. They're having Garrett Cole pitch the whole game. Like, fuck it. It's like, this is our Randy Johnson. This is our Roger Clemens. This is our Andy Pettit. They're just like, fuck it. You're going to play the whole game. We're either going to win or lose with you or whatever. Oh, line drive. Volpe looking like a Jeter. One away. Nice job. Next up, right fielder Mookie Betts. Plus, the home run will mean a little bit more in LA, at that particular time. So, if we get that. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a base on ball. Mookie Betts. Very likable player. So Yamamoto is not ready, so they're going Walker Buehler on Friday. That's where they would go. You would have to. Can't just have a scrub out there. Garrett Cole, got it. 2 away. Good awareness for Garrett Cole. I don't think anyone would disagree that he's not, we all know he's one of the top 10 pitchers typically. Next up, first baseman, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. You want electricity? That's Freddie Freeman. But can he hit a home run in 5 consecutive games? I mean, doing already 4 in a row was just crazy. Down first base foul. Good snag there by that ball boy or ball girl down there. They had good defense. Pitch is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two 2-1 pitch to Freddie. Pitch is high outside. Freddie Freeman walked. Rather than giving up a big home run. Next up, left fielder Teoscar Hernandez. And do you pull him now? This would probably be the time. I don't think anyone anticipated Garrett Cole going 7 fucking innings. I thought most of us thought 5 or 6, but not this much. But they have the lead. I mean, even though they were up 5-0 and now it's 6-5, but they do have the lead late. Nice job, Garrett Cole. And he gets a standing ovation as he walks into the dugout. Tips the cap, gets a little nod there. Absolutely. I definitely want to hear what we have to go up against. Obviously, we know we're going against a tough environment, but not really the same team as they used to be. But still, if we play bad, we could lose. And I think that any real fan would know that. So, we have to make sure that we come out of the gates swinging and play great defense the whole way. Don't let the crowd get into the game and, go into the big house and get the dub. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that report. Top of the 7th, 6-5 Yankees. And I'll be doing a live stream for that. I'm doing every single one as long as I'm not there at the game. So. cool graphic with the postseason home runs for the Yankees when you get into, anything when you're mentioned with like a Mickey Mantle. If you're like Judge or Stanton, that's a big deal. Next up, Teoscar Hernandez. This is inside. 1-0 count for Clay Holmes. Three and 1 record. One 0 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs. Runner at first. 6-5, New York. Holmes enters. Garrett Cole exits. Teoscar Hernandez in the batter's box. Pitch inside. 3-0 count. Oh, Teoscar walked. Uh-oh. There's that first and second now. Next up, Mad Max Muncy. 0 for 2. Usually a home run or a strikeout. But, he's not afraid of the big moment. And Muncy, even though he's 0 for 14, he is a guy at one point, either here in or LA, could end up being kind of one of the unsung heroes at some point. Not sure if it's going to be right here. Feels like maybe more of a tomorrow thing or Friday thing if we get that game 6. But we will see. Another ball. And Muncy will take a walk if needed. Down by a run. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. They need to move them over. 1-0 pitch from Holmes. Hits the top of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 for 15 in the NLCS with 11 walks. World Series 0 for 14, 3 walks. Chops that one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're at 20, 80 to go. I think we're at 20, 10 more to go. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, PK Hernandez. 2-2 pitch from Holmes. Wow, that one looked like it was close into the zone, but called ball. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big groan out of the crowd there in New York. But a little bit out of the zone. No backdoor strike. 3-2 pitch. Muncy chops it towards first base foul. Count remains full. 3-2. For Mad Max Muncy. And Muncy struck out looking. Got him. Sweeper. Next up for the Yankees, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher Austin Wells. Stash from the past. Batting second, the former Red Sox, 1 for 1 with an RBI. 2 base on ball. The fielder, Alex Verdugo. And batting third, 0 for 4 with a K. Second baseman, he needs a hit desperately. Gleyber Torres. No, Muncy not playing well. Gained another sub. That's good. Thank you. Appreciate you very, very much. Gained 15 in about a day and a half. That is very good. Thank you to all of the new subs. Now we're at 20,635. We were at 20,620 yesterday. So 15. Let's go. Again, we got a little bit of everything. You know, old school videos, reaction videos, live streams for a little bit of everything. And I am kind of happy that we're doing a WWE PLE, but man, 10 a.m. on a Saturday. I just wish it was a little bit later. But when those are end up being foreign soil, PLEs, pay-per-views, sometimes we gotta wake up early. So I'm looking forward to some wrestling, though. Go to the bottom of the 7th, 6-5 Yankees. Yeah, but even if Flacco works, as much as we love him as the backup and now going to be the starter, he really only has a couple years left, depending on how many years he wants to play. So, if Richardson gets another chance once he gets better, or they're going to have to move on and get another quarterback in the draft, or find another veteran to come in, to be able to mentor him and also take over the lead role as the QB. So. Some guys are going to be able to get the ball downfield a little bit better than others. It's just unfortunate for like Justin Fields and AR and some of these guys right now that are just kind of having a hard time doing the basics. So, and at least if Flacco gets in there, he can throw the ball. He's confident, Super Bowl winner. Still is going to make mistakes, but still has the ability to get 3, 4, 5 touchdowns in a game, even at 39, 40 years old. So I trust him, and again, he's going to fuck up and make some mistakes, but that he's like trying and, he can get the ball to your weapons, and that's what you want, right? If the Colts get the ball to the weapons, they win. When they don't get the ball to the weapons, they lose. It's pretty simple, I mean, you're going to see a lot more bigger plays out of Alec Pierce and Pittman, as we can work on that back. And obviously, you got many other options to be able to get that done. Josh Downs. All right, we're in the bottom of the 7th, 6-5 Yankees. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 30 and then maybe 35. And we're at 20, 80 to go. 6-5 Yankees. Yankees win. We go to game 6, then they lose in LA. Dodgers win. They party, but they're partying in enemy territory. Three homers by the Yankees, but some bugaboos. Some defensive mind lapses, and you can't let your guard down once when you play either one of these teams. But especially the Dodgers seem like they've been able to take advantage of miscues more than any team in the playoffs up to this point. They always find that one, spot of little laziness or out of position, and then they end up capitalizing not with just like a single. It ends up being like a 3-run homer or a big 2-run RBI where it's game changing. That's what great teams do. They find a way to win. Bad teams, like the Mariners, sometimes we find a way to lose, but we will be good one day. Just got to be able to, get a new owner and fire the GM. 0-2 count to Wells. Popped up. Count remains still 0-2. Walls struck out swinging. One away. Next up, left fielder Alex Verdugo. 1-for-1 RBI, 2 base on balls, the former Red Sox. No, not that they've broadcasted. They have not broadcasted anymore. Crazy that happened. Appreciate that. $3 holla. Every holla counts. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, Rex on Rex. Cactus check. $3 holla. Every dollar holla counts. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely will. And hopefully it won't be raining later tonight. You know, a couple walks today. First one we had this morning, you know, we got rained on a little bit, and then the second one not so much. But Paisley's a trooper. She knows the mission at hand. Still got to be able to sniff around, go to the bathroom, and get the exercise in. Just can't go as long. But I do want to be able to get her a nice new jacket next month. So some of the donos will go towards getting her a new fit. I probably won't. I don't really do like the whole socks thing or like the shoes thing. I want her to experience, you know, all what we have out here. You know, but I think a nice, and it doesn't even have to really be like a raincoat, like, you know. But I know they're kind of expensive. Dog coats. Take care of your dog. 6'5" Yankees. Short hair. Yeah. She's the best. Love her. Makes every day so great. You know, like I haven't had a bad day. Like every day, you know, it's like if you get rid of like the toxicity in your life around people, you know, and then you end up separating yourself from that, and then you can just pretty much focus on what you need to focus on in life with no distractions and positivity around all the time, and just getting to a good routine of exercising, eating healthy, and spending time with the pup and the dreams and goals here. And it's a nice balance. Pitches outside, 3-0 count from Trinan to Torres. Galeba. Three-one count to Gleyber Torres. Yeah, that's 100%. You know, you have to really, you know, appreciate things. And, you know, it's like once you end up having that bond with a cat or a dog, and, you know, their life is very, very important. And, you know, their happiness is going to be something that you want to make sure that, you know, every day is a great day. Not just a day that they wake up, but like a great day. You know, one day for us is like 7 days for a dog. You know, you have to be able to go above and beyond. You know, you owe it to them. Three-two. Broken bat by Gleyber Torres. Muncy, throw to first. Got him. Yeah, goddamn whippersnapper. End of the seventh. Let's go to the top of the eighth. Yankees hanging on by a thread. Next up for the Dodgers, 1 for 3 with a run. Center fielder, Kike Hernandez. Batting second, 0 for 3 with with a run in the K. Shortstop, Tommy Edman, a former Cardinal. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a run in the K. Catcher, Will Smith. You got to get some production at the bottom end of the lineup if you're going to come back here today and win it all. And that's if you don't get anything out of any of these guys, then we're going to go to game 6. That's facts. Yes. And maybe Walker Buehler will be the one that wins it for the Dodgers in game 6. Walker Buehler. Turn the Blazer game on. All right, Blazers. I'm tuning in. Hopefully they're going to be competitive. $18-15. All right, Blazers. Let's go, Rip City. All right, baby. Got the NBA going. You know, things are getting crazy if I got an NBA game also going. Pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kike. Thursday night football. Happy Halloween tomorrow. Texans and Jets. Hopefully it's good. And then if the Yankees end up winning this game, we'll have a game 6 on Friday in LA. Kike, and just like he always does in the postseason and the big moments, comes up with big hits, home runs, RBIs. X factor in the postseason. He loves October. Next up, shortstop, former Cardinal Tommy Edman. Defense, a little suspect, but hitting, he's been superb. 18-15 Clippers on the Blazers. Come on, Blazers. Oh, broken bat. Oh, my. What a play. And what did I say also? You got to get production here at the bottom. If you do, right, you can win. But if you don't, you're definitely going to lose. DK's like, I'll do my job. Edman's like, I'll do my job too. All right, Will, your turn. And there's that first and second with no outs. 20-15 Clippers. Come on, Blazers. Oh, Klingon with a fucking rebound and dunk. Fuck yeah, nice flush. Dude, Klingon is fucking fucking Kong. That guy's hella fun to watch. Saw what he got to do at UConn. He's just fucking long ass legs, long ass arms, fucking athletic, blocks the shit out of a basketball, and then can go up there and just fucking dunk it. So that's some sexy stuff right there. Study of Earth's energy. Oh, Clean Kong, get the rebound and fucking flush it on somebody. Just dunked it right on the dude's head. Oh, I love it. I need that Clean Kong Blazer glass. That's the one I need. Next up, Will Smith, top of the 8th, down by a run. Runners at first and second. 21 to 17, Clippers on the Blazers. Clean Kong, like King Kong, that's our rookie on the Blazers. Klingon from UConn, the big center prospect. It was either him or like Edie from the college ranks last year. Klingon, baby. He does it all. He can get you double-digit points, 10 to 14 on a certain day, maybe 20. Can get you up to 20 boards or more. Can get 4 or 5 blocks and get you 4 or 5 assists. So he's not going to like hog it. He'll definitely look for teammates and stuff. So if he can stay healthy, and that's always been the thing for the Blazers, our guys never stay healthy. But if he were able to, could be a huge X factor, regardless if he starts or if they have him come off the bench. But he's the funnest player on the Blazers to watch this season. And then Shaedon Sharpe, obviously, normally is the funnest, but he's injured and he won't be playing until he makes his season debut in November. I got to keep you guys on the tabs on all the nicknames, He's a phenom, man. Like, we're going to be like bottom 3 team in the NBA, but at least we're going to have like a couple exciting players. That's what you have to, have something to get excited about. Clean Kong, like King Kong. Oh, he just got burned for a fucking dunk right there, though. Jones crossed him up and said, "Oof." Two-handed fly slam a jamma. Clean Kong's ankles got broken right there, and he said, "Fuck it, ah!" Two-handed dunk. Went down to his knees, didn't tear an ACL. Nice dunk. I did see that. Very cool. Let me some Joe Burrow, the Tiger King. $26-20. Get it, Clean Kong. He's always in the mix for the boards. And it's like, I don't really like the NBA or college. I like March Madness a lot because it means something. But I feel like the NBA doesn't really get good until like February. And you're competing with a lot of other sports. And, there's too many blowouts, lack of defense, 30, 40 three-pointers a game. Like, I don't know. It's just not ideally a good product compared to the other sports, unless some of those things get cleaned up a little bit. But here I am, still watching. But I'm not going to just watch anybody. Very limited. Blazers, and then, we'll see. Right at 23. Yeah, 3 hours. I remember some of the streams that I've done on this channel. Like, I literally think that one Mariners one that went like 18 innings, that one was like a 5 or 6 hour stream. 5 or 6 hours for baseball, man. I mean, that's some commitment. Or like there was also a few NASCAR streams that had like weather delays that I ended up doing for like 6-7 hours. Where like it's a long fucking time, man. $2 holla. Appreciate you. A little stacks on stacks, a little racks on racks, a little practice jack. Bang, bang. $2 holla. 25, 75 to go. Luke Weaver. Gavin Lux. Bases loaded with nobody out. One ball, no strikes. Weaver and Lux. I'd like to drop a bunt down right here. Top of the 8th, down by a run, bases loaded. But you have to have the right person to do a bunt in this kind of situation to make it work. But it could be like the ultimate game changer. 1-1. Pitch into the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Or if they just end up getting a free run and they end up getting a walk, then you just make it 6-6 and then you got to go to the top of the order. Then you're fucked. Ohtani on deck. Check swing. Did he go? He did. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gavin Lux. Yeah, I mean, this is a critical moment in the game. I mean, look how late we're talking. Like, this could be the difference of winning the World Series now or winning the World Series on Friday. Dodgers. Do you want to win now or do you want to win on Thursday? Up to you. Just it depends on the sports gods if they want a game 5, 6, or 7. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Are we going to get a freebie here? A little freebie? A little walk, a little free run, then they're in trouble. Like at the very bare minimum, the score is going to be 7-6 Dodgers, but could end up being 8-6 or 9-6 Dodgers after this mess is cleaned up. Lux. Center field, Aaron Judge. Tag up, Kike, plenty of time. Save. We're not up at 6, baby. Sack fly. Next up, Shohei Ohtani. 0 for 4, about to become 1 for 5. I feel it's more of a game 6 kind of moment, but it does. The momentum definitely has shifted, and I don't know if New York is going to be able to recover from being down a run or 2 this late in the game. Like this could end up being, the moment, but it doesn't feel like you're going to necessarily get the home run. Catcher interference. He's going. Because like I said, the home run has to happen in LA. Now you got a catcher interference here. Bases loaded. Oh my. Well, I guess that's better than Ohtani hitting like a 3-run homer. Next up is Mookie Betts. So you're trying to say that he stuck out his mitt to hit the back of the bat, so that way he wouldn't be able to cleanly hit that baseball? What do we think about that call right there, that catcher interference? Do we think that's legit? 50-50, good call, bad call? I mean, when's the last time we had a fucking catcher's interference, let alone in the World Series? It's like reaching a little bit forward too much to affect the clipping the bat just a little to see if you can get a strikeout on Ohtani there or have him whiff it. I'm thinking good call, though, right? I mean, it did touch it. Okay, good. Ohtani to first. 6-6, bases loaded, top of the 8th, World Series on the line. Right fielder Mookie Betts. Now he's got one swing, grand salami potential. And then after him, Freddie Freeman has a chance to hit a home run in 5 straight games and do the most insane thing in sports. Mookie, deep center field, Judge is there. Tag up, 7-6, Dodgers. There is the lead. They're trying to win it today. Down 5-0, now up 7-6. Incredible. Next up, Mr. October, Freddie Freeman. 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs and a base on ball. And the only thing to make it sweeter, 3-run blast, 10-7, 10-6 Dodgers, and then him to hit a home run in every single game in the World Series while doing it. I mean, that would really be some electric shit, wouldn't it be? For Mr. October. Home run in every game and get a 3-run blast here. Even if Ohtani homered, Freeman is the MVP. Like, it's clear that Ohtani doesn't even deserve a vote. You know, it's like you can't go like 2 for 15 going into the game like Judge did and think that, you know, that you're the reason. Like, we needed more from Ohtani and Judge in this World Series. But again, pitching and defense have been dominant. Sean Payton. Duo. Walker Buehler warming up. 2-1. Freddie crushes it. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers down 5-0. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Yankees can do the same damn thing. Chasing it, strike 3. He's done. But the Dodgers take the lead, 7-6. Los Angeles. Almost done, Paisley. I love you. And then for college, it would have to be something like an innovative, offense. Something where you're going to get a little bit of everything. So. And there's a couple of individuals, but, take your pick on the college football level. I mean, there's plenty to choose from. It just kind of depends on what you feel that you want to be able to, go over, like RPO stuff or wide receiver route stuff or a little bit of both. Oh yeah, Chip Kelly. I like innovation. I like, I like the dreamers. I like the people that are leaders and the people that are, you get the brilliant minds, and you see how like not every, individual coach is on the same level. Some of them are much more brilliant than people assume. All right, Yankees, time for a little comeback. Except for the Yankees, 1-for-1 with 2 runs and 3 base on balls. Right fielder Juan Soto. Batting second, 1-for-2 with a run, 2 RBIs, 2 base on balls. All rise. Aaron Judge. And batting third baseman Jazz Chisholm. We got the lineup to do it. Alex Baldwin knows it. Matt Sajak knows it. He's there. John Travolta's there. Rob Lowe, Dodger fan. Tim McGraw. Grub. Dodgers up by 1. Soto fouls that one back, behind in the count 0-2. Pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 8th. 7-6, Los Angeles. Trying it on the mound. Soto in the box. I'm ready to go on a walk in a little bit. Man, 3 hours and 19 minutes. These World Series games go a hell of a lot longer than the Mariner games. Little flip. Got him. All good choices. Next up, Aaron Judge. It's like if you're gonna, you're running out of time here. Takes a pitch inside. 1-0 count. Pitch is high. 2-0 count. Judah in the building. What's good? Pitch on the corner for a strike to Aaron Judge. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th, 7-6 Dodgers. Nobody on with 1 out. Trying it on the mound. Aaron Judge in the box. Judge finally got his home run in the World Series. Better late than ever. Chop that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Judge. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full on Aaron Judge. Three-two. Crushes that one foul. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Judge. Three-two. Crushes that one. Fair. All the way back to the wall. Run, 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 Aaron, run. There you go. stand-up double for Aaron Judge, and that's exactly what you needed. Over Muncie's head, nothing you can do there. Nice stand-up double by the first ballot Hall of Famer, second best player with Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge. Next up, Jazz Chisholm. He's got a home run today. Can he come up big here? You got the swag and you got the aura, you know. You have to just mature with the swag and the aura. And if you're able to do that, you know, maybe this will be a regular piece for the Yankees for a while. Gives you kind of a Juan Pierre vibe, you know, anytime you end up getting those like leadoff hitters, you know, or guys that end up hitting somewhere, you know, 1 through 4 or 5 in the lineup, you know, especially when you get them and they're like lefties. Lefties are crafty. They're built a little bit different. There's not as many of them. And obviously the MLB would love for it to go 7. So that's more money and, you know, more profit, more ratings. 3-0 count. Now the Yankees crowd is alive, feeling that this is winnable. Oh, 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 they sing. 3-0. And that's a strike on the corner as Jazz was walking to first base. Control your emotions, my guy. Chisholm walked. Runners at first and second. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs, already has a home run. Could he do it here? Could this be the game winner right here? Good bat placement with that World Series logo. Where are we hitting it? Right there. Right there. Okay. Dodgers up 3-1. Dodgers down 5-0. Stanton flied out to right. 2 away. Next batter, first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo 0 for 3. Base on ball and a K. Oh, baby. 3 hours and 26 minutes? My goodness. Two on, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Dodgers down by 5, no problem. Now it's 7-6, LA. They'd rather win it in front of their family and friends in Los Angeles. So will the Yankees do enough to squeak out 2 wins? They can feel good about themselves instead of getting swept or getting beat in 5. Pitching is everything. 0-1. Judge back to second base. The 2 pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, you got to take care of those fingers. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Wow, Trident. That's huge. That might have won them the World Series right there. Wow-wee. All right, Pacey says, Dad, I'm hungry. All right, I got to go get her some food. Uh-oh, Dodgers. End of the 8th, top of the 9th. Now we're getting close. Next up is Teoscar Hernandez. 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, base on ball and a K. Yeah, that was their chance. I mean, there's still always a possibility before the game is over, but that kind of feels like that. I mean, but again, the bottom end of the order, sometimes ends up being the unsung hero. But I mean, that's a lot of pressure, to be able to have on not your superstars to, come up in literally the last ditch effort to, get it to go to 10. Because it wouldn't be like the Yankees would be able to get 2 and have that emotional, win that way. It probably would be more tie the game up and then win in some dramatic fashion in 10 or 11 by a run, something like that. But again, we've seen baseball games many, many ways. But that might have been it, though. I mean, especially getting out of that jam. I saw a photo of the gummy chew shark bites that were back in the 80s and 90s. Unbelievable. What I wouldn't do for a package of shark bites. I can almost taste them like right now, and it's been probably like 35 years since I've had one. 0-2. Single by Teoscar Hernandez. They're trying to get some insurance here. Next up, Max Muncy. Top of the ninth, 7-6 Dodgers. Muncy. Oh, line drive, though. Good connection. Slide out to right, one away. Next up, 2 for 4 with 2 runs, Kike Hernandez. Yeah. It's crazy, like, you know, just the things that I miss, you know, back from my childhood, or like kudos bars. Those are probably the thing that I miss almost the most. Like, there's quite a few things that I remember, but just having those as an option, you know, compared to a lot of the stuff that they have now, like if that was still going, I just really liked the flavors that they had, and they were like so iconic. It's like you either grew up with Shark Bites or Kudos or Squeeze-Its and that type of thing, or you know what I'm talking about, or you don't know. Like, you know, you either had them yourself, had kids, they had them, or someone you knew had them, you know, but it's like if you were alive in that era, you remember. Pitches outside. I don't know. I kind of miss those memories and those products. Oh, I don't know. Cookies and cream Kudo bar, because like they went through these different like flavors they started off with, and then they got a little bit more you know, crazy with the flavors. I remember that one. There would be like a variety pack, and I'd be all over that one first. I'm like, oh, I got to get that one before someone else does in the house. Oh, Bach dog. We got a Bach dog. Bach boy. Baka baka baka. Waka flocka baka. Uh-oh, that's not good. Disengagement. You can't be doing so much disengagement. And in the ninth inning. Chris Taylor's like, I'm getting involved. Love the 7-Eleven Big Gulp, the Circle K's, getting the packs of sports cards and non-sports cards. That was like an everyday thing for me for a while. Except, you know, I wasn't getting the Big Gulp, the dad was, you know, but I would still be able to get something out of it, like a couple packs of cards, you know, maybe like an M&M or a Skittles or something. Maybe I got a drink too if I was lucky that day. But if it was between like a Big Gulp and cards, I was choosing cards for sure. Top of the ninth, 7-6 Dodgers, runner at second with 1 out. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. TK walk. Uh-oh. Next up is Tommy Edman. Kind of feels like the momentum has shifted that the Dodgers are going to win here. Like it's not even going to go to Game 6. Feels like it's just too much. The moment is too big. And I mean, shit, you got to be able to get out of this part and make sure you're only down by 1. If you're down by more than 1, it's over. If it's like, 2 or 3 runs, yeah, good night. But if you can keep it 7-6, you have a chance to tie and maybe squeak out a 8-7 win in the 10th or the 11th. But your momentum is definitely against New York right now. And this thing is going to be going for like 4 hours. Like, come on, man. Like, let's find out who's the champion so I can go eat dinner. And I can go for a walk. It's like not good for your back to be sitting down for hours and hours on end. But luckily I have a really good, not necessarily gaming chair or whatever, but streaming chair, for doing this. So, but the chair that I had prior to this for a few years was terrible. Black leather, but it didn't really, protect your back the way that you would need if you're going to be here for hours on end. Tommy Edman. I'm like Chris right now. I need some food. I need to get water. Oh man, that water is good. Unbelievable. It's crazy, like when you start changing your bad habits and you end up like, you can have cheat meals and you can still have like cookies and chips, but you just have to have the discipline on, to make sure you're exercising and you're doing enough. So that way, if you do have some of those things, it's not going to affect you in a negative way. But, and I had some really good kind of like kettle style chips today. Unbelievable. I don't usually get to eat too many things. Like I really try to be pretty, strict, with the food that I'm taking. But, every once in a while you got to go to Flavor Town, right? But like just simple things. We have this like bakery here in Oregon too that they do like cheese sticks, just like from scratch, and they are ridiculous. I'm always about the unusual snacks. Top of the 9th, 7-6 Dodgers. Leiter Jr. with a cutter. 0-1 count to Tommy Edman, who reached on an error, single, and 2 runs. Defense has been his bugaboo, but in the box, he's been amazing. Pitches inside. 1 ball and 1 strike, Tommy Edman. Oh, ridiculous. Cherries, apples, I mean, you name it. The blackberry, raspberry. I mean, there's a lot of places that are around. Down the road a few miles away from my house, there was a house, but they moved, or they had like 8 chickens just like roaming around in the backyard. So when people would be walking by, they would just like come by and talk to the chickens, and the chickens would like interact with you and whatnot. It was pretty cool. And then I got another guy on another route that I go on my walk where he's got 3 koi fish in a koi pond in their front like lawn area. It's like, as you pull into their driveway, like on the sidewalk, they have like a place where they built like a koi pond, so you can like kind of walk up and look. And they got 3, small, but it's a decent sized pond. Pretty cool. I like to see that type of unusual type of thing. It makes the walks a little bit more interesting for me in Paisley. But lots of apples, though. I normally don't take my phone or a camera on my walks, but I probably should. I've missed out on some amazing photos, for sure, of like the landscape. Like I was on this one early morning walk where we had fog and then the sun was kind of shining through. And then if you looked up, you could see like 7 different trees and all of them are different shades of color, from a dark green to a light green to the orange to the red. It was like something like almost out of a movie. I was like, damn, if I had a camera right now, that would have been like postcard material, like ridiculous photo, but didn't have a camera on me or my phone. Edmund stuck out swinging. 2 away. Next up is Will Smith. Got to get out of this inning here. Got to keep it 7-6, then you can tie it up 7-7, and then win 8-7, and then lose in Game 6 in LA. If that's the story that we're going with. Or the Dodgers win it here, right, tonight, and it's over. Oh, the Honeycrisp apples. Well, Honeycrisp is where it's at, man. The West Coast, baby. A lot of special things out here in California, Oregon, and Washington. That little Pacific Northwest, baby. Go to first, got him. And they have a chance now. All right, so now you got to be able to tie it. Obviously, winning it here and getting 2 runs would be the most magical shit ever. Volpe, Wells, and Verdugo, but just not trying to be greedy and just trying to get 1 and then let the top of the order win the game for you in extras. So right here at the very end, they do have guys that could end up being heroes. I mean, we already saw the hero of Game 4, Grand Salami. Can he hit a solo homer on a first pitch strike? Would he be ballsy enough to take that swing? Or Austin Wells, who homered yesterday as well. And then Alex Verdugo. But right now, 2 for 4. 2 for 4. 0 for 3. 1 for 2. So it is possible here to get 1. He said, yeah. Oh. Cold, almost frozen water is so underrated. We all love Flavortown and sodas and beers and wines, but I like my beverage like as cold as it fucking can get. Like where I put it in the freezer and it's almost frozen. Like a slushy, but I still want to be able to like drink it like right at the point before it goes frozen, where it's almost like an inner layer of an ice cube in there of whatever you're drinking, but not to that point, but almost. That's the ideal temperature for a drink for me. Not room temperature. I need the cold of the cold. Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, Alex Verdugo. Can they make the miracle happen? You got good ones out here. Walker Buehler into the game. Yeah, I think for me, like if I'm gonna drink something, like I'm down to drink whatever, if it's with the right person in the right situation. But I think if I had to choose one thing that would be like, if I was gonna order it, I think I would go with like a Blue Moon with a fresh orange. I think that would be ideal for me. That's like the perfect beer for me, regardless if I am eating something or not eating something, like with a burger and fries or just chilling with like a friend or whatever. You drink a couple of those, yeah, you're on point. Especially if it's a fresh tap and it's just insanely better on tap. And then the fresh orange peel in there, man. Hard to beat. That's my favorite. But again, if you don't have the fresh orange, or if it's not a fresh tap or whatever, if there's like a canned version, there's going to be other ways that you can have it, but and that's why it's kind of rare in Oregon. You don't really have it at every bar. Like it's like every fifth bar you might have it. So it's like you kind of have to look for it. Chopper, foul. Bottom of the ninth, 7-6 Dodgers. 1-2 to Volpe. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, but definitely a good selection of food and beer and wine. Anything that you want. Good selection. Volpe grounds out. 1 away. That's big. Dodgers 2 outs away from a World Series championship. Next up, catcher Austin Wells. On deck, Alex Verdugo. Kind of feels like it's over. Pitch there in there for a strike. 0 for 3, hit by a pitch in the 5th. Buehler. Wild pitch by Buehler. Yeah, having it go game 6 or game 7, another opportunity for baseball. NASCAR, I'm only down to 2 races now. It's depressing. Like 2 races, and that's all I get. Like, that's a big part of my Sundays with or without football. Like, I like to be able to have something to look forward to, every week. Hopefully the Mariners can be in this kind of position one day. Chop foul by Wells. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers 2 outs away from a world championship. They were down 5-0 in this game. 3 home runs by the Yankees. Judge, Jazz, and Giancarlo, but still not enough. And if there's any team that can get to 10 runs on any given night, it's both of these teams. But the Yankees did have a couple bugaboos where, if you just slip for just a little bit and get a little lackadaisical and soft and just kind of be lazy, Dodgers will make you pay, and they did. 2-2. Low and inside at the ankles. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss. Goodbye. 1 out away from the championship. Next up, left fielder, the former Red Sox, Alex Verdugo. Pitch is low, 1-0 count. Strike swinging with that cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Knuckle curve, another strike swinging. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They are 1 strike away from being world champs. And there it is. Bang, bang, bang. The Dodgers are world champions. My goodness. They said we wanted to win in LA. How about we just win right here in New York? And pitching and defense, that's what happens. You got the good pitching and defense, and you end up winning a World Series. There it is. Wow. My dad's happy. I'll call my dad right now. That's funny. My dad didn't even answer. My dad always answers. He might be too far away from the phone. Nice job, Dodgers. Dodgers win 4-1 in the series. Final score, Dodgers 7, Yankees 6. And there it is. World champs. I'll get a call back. And now I got 2 races left in NASCAR Cup Series, and then that'll be going away. But at least we still got football and whatnot. It happens, dude. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Reflect anything that you want to see photo-wise before we go, based off your donos. You want some Better Call Saul, something of that nature. And then I'm going to be doing for Halloween tomorrow the Texans and the Jets. So I'll be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. So come through and hang out if you can, unless you have Halloween plans with a child or a party to go to. But if you've got really nothing going on, come hang out, watch some good NFL, and hopefully, yeah, I was going to say, it's been kind of a long one. We're almost at the 4-hour mark, but I'm still going to do one photo of the Better Call Saul, and then we'll call it a day. I'll do at least one. You better call him. You got to call Saul. Teoscar Hernandez. Ohtani getting the championship. Freeman going to be getting the MVP. I appreciate every single one of you that liked, sub, donated, commented, shared. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, we'll be live tomorrow for Jets and Texans on Halloween. Have a great Halloween for all people that celebrate. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Well, you know, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Final score, Dodgers 7, Yankees 6. Dodgers are world champions in 2024. Congratulations, Dad. And I'm out. Gang. Go Dodgers.